Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. We are here. We are live early Sunday morning. Happy Sunday to everyone. We got to have this conversation today. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. All right. We thank you guys for being here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as you come in. If you want to be a part of the show today, absolutely you can be. Just make sure your camera's on. Make sure there's no loud noises in your background. Make sure your YouTube is paused when you come up. The link is in the chat, also pinned to the top of the chat if you are watching and want to come up and have something to say about what's going on right here. But I do want to welcome you guys to our Sunday show that I am going to start, politics and shit. And we're going to have this conversation today about Roland Martin. I used to be a big fan of Roland Martin, but before I get into that, guys, if you want to give to the channel, you can do so by Cash App, which is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, or you could do a super chat, which is at the bottom. Especially if you want something important to be read, you could definitely put that down at the bottom as well, and become a member of the channel as well. You can also become a member at the for the channel as well. All right, so I want to get to the conversation about Roland. Roland said that black men need to stop bitching, and he's using this as a challenging tactic, I guess, for men. I guess, you know, the same thing Obama tried to do when Kamala was running for office. And he said that men need to get it together because we shouldn't be afraid to have a woman lead us, so on and so forth. You know, those conversations that happen when men grow up with single moms. So you absolutely 100% know what it sounds like when a man grows up with a single mom and had no father because of that situation. Roland, on the other hand, gets on the show with a guy who you'll see in a few seconds when I pull him up on the screen and we watch this video together. I have not watched the video in its entirety. I only saw the title of the video and I saw them talking about this, and I said, you know what, let's just go live today and have a good conversation. All right. Shout out to everybody that just came in and representing in the chat. I appreciate you guys for being here. I see ya. I see ya. I see ya. All right. Let's see here. All right. I got Washington Wild. Are you in the building? He said, happy Sunday. What's going on? What's going on, man? Thank you for being here. Also, we have, let's see, Kamal, the shadow band man Johnson in the building. He said, what's good, chat? What's good, BMU? What's going on, my guy? Make sure you guys share this this live, and also make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. If you feel the need to give to the channel and support this channel, because these channels can't be ran free, right? So support the channel, join them, be a member, give something in the super chat, give something on the Cash App. That would be amazing. I appreciate anybody that does that, okay, as we go along with the show. All right, if you want to come up, again, the link is in the chat and it's pinned to the top of the chat. If you don't see it, let me know and I'll put it back in there and you guys can come up and have a conversation. All I ask is that your camera be on, that no noises are in the background, and that you come up here to just have a conversation about what we're talking about today. All right. All right, so I definitely want to have a conversation, all right? All right, so here we go. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the conversation between Roland. Okay, it's not in the chat, Washington. Okay, give me just a second. I'm putting it in there for you. Hold on, pause. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Maybe, let me see. Now, also, while I'm putting this link in the chat, we need to have another conversation too about sister Dr. Fake Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, man, being exposed yesterday, day before yesterday, of how she talked to a man. How she talked to that man on that panel was absolutely asinine. And he allowed it. That's another conversation for another day. He allowed it. I don't know too many men, including myself, that would have taken that type of talking from a woman that's not my wife. I couldn't do it. I don't know if you guys had saw. I put a one in the chat if you saw that. Blasphemy from Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, now can y'all see it in the chat now? It should be there. All right, there is a poll in the chat as well, so make sure you guys get in that as well. All right, so I do want to say this as well as we continue. There is, I think, for men today, and what we have going on today, I think men are being emasculated on every front. All right. So on every front, I think that men are being emasculated. I think that, you know, you can't, if you vote the way you want to vote, you're not a man, according to Barack Obama. If you don't support the ghetto sisters who are on Congress, then you're not a man. You're not a man. There's even Roland Martin, the show that we're having right now about Roland. Roland is saying that he had a t-shirt on that says, vote like a woman, vote like a black woman. Let me be more specific. He had a t-shirt on, and they were selling these t-shirts that say, vote like a black woman. I think that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. We're voting like black women instead of being men in the household. I know men who have wives, who their wives are voting for Kamala and they voted for Trump. There is no unity in the household. If you are a man in your household, the political view of your household should be one band, one sound. So if you're voting for Trump, then she's voting for Trump. But if you think that for one reason that your wife is voting for something different than you're voting for, then you guys are not on the same page. And it questions, it's a side eye to the marriage. It's a side eye to the marriage. Yeah, Kamal, yeah, you remember that shirt too? Yeah, they had a shirt on that said, vote like a black woman. Ridiculous, right? Because that shows no leadership. Because if you look at it, even if you want to, because I know the Bible's not sexy to a lot of people today, but even if you look at it from a biblical perspective or just a man perspective, men have always been leaders. In the 50s, the 30s, the 40s, the 60s, men have been leaders. It starts to shake loose. And hear me now. It started to shake loose when women decided, when the world decided, or the country decided, that we can benefit off the pain of women and turn them against their men by giving them the right to vote, giving them these jobs to match men, to give them income who match their men. And because, and in that situation, that's what happened. That's exactly 100% what happened. Are men, and I want to speak to you guys out there, are men true leaders? Do you believe that men are the true leaders? Or do you believe that in the background of everything, the women have always been the leaders? What do you believe? Put a one in the chat if you believe that men are not the true leaders. If they're not, if you believe they are, I want to hear what you have to say in the chat, because we need to have this conversation. And if you want to come up again, you see the link in the chat, guys. Press the link, come up, make sure your camera's on, make sure there's no noise in the background. Let's have this conversation. All right. Kamal says the law and money is the leader at the polls. The law and money is the leader at this point. I'm sorry, at this point. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Because even Kamala, the men showed up and showed out. But even Kamala, when she was running for president, they said, "Oh my God, in a short period of time, this woman has raised almost $1 billion, and now that money's unaccounted for. You paid for women who shook their asses, who dropped that ass to the floor, who dropped it like it's hot. Rappers, you had people come up. You had men who were looked emasculated, right? What's the guy from who went up from the Migos? Y'all know the nigga. He came up on stage with a see-through shirt on, with its navel showing as a representation of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is simply a party that is for same-sex marriage. It's for emasculation of men. It's for all these different things. I personally can't see why any black man, thank you, Quavo, thank you. I can't see why any black man would want to vote for the Democratic Party. I can't see why any man of any color will want to be a part of the Democratic Party when you've seen time and time and time and time again that these people what they represent. They represent abortion. They represent same-sex marriage. They represent letting our children make decisions on their bodies. At 10 years old, 12 years old, I don't want to be a boy no more. They support that. They support it. They even have supported, and if you don't believe this, just Google it. They even supported, Kamala Harris supported prisoners who wanted to go through transition surgery. She supported passing a law to have men who are in prison, who are criminals, to have their sex changed in prison. Men who wanted to become women. Well, isn't that convenient? Because I don't want to be in the prison with Big Pookie down the hallway grabbing me and holding me up in the shower. So I will just say I identify as a woman, get moved over to the women's prison and get half of those women pregnant. This is where we are. And if men, we talk about men, Roland Martin is saying that, stop bitching. Roland Martin challenges black men to be organized. Well, if black men organize on the vision and the perspective of a leader, of a true leader, not a leader who has been fed or attached to by anybody else, by any other woman, but a man who is truly a leader, then what are we talking about? They're going to be upset. They're going to be mad when men stand up and say, we're not voting for a woman for president. We're not voting to have women run anything in our communities because we were not created for women to lead us. We were not created for women to lead us. We were not created for that. A woman has her position in this world. A man has his position in this world. When you get up in the morning and you walk outside, the driveway that you're walking down, a man put that concrete there. When you got into your car, the man put the door on that car. When you cranked the car, the engine was put inside that car by a man. When you drive down the highway was constructed by a man. It was laid by men. When you walk into your job, the door you open to walk into the building was put by a man. The building that you work put by a man. The desk that you sit in every day was put together by a man. If you take men away from the world for 60 days, the world will be in chaos. Men are necessary. Men are necessary. And I think that we're getting to a point that we've emasculated an entire generation of men. I'm a millennial, so the generation after me and moving forward have been emasculated to the point where you have the boomers who were saying happy wife, happy life. Now you have the generation that's coming up behind us, the alpha generation, and anything that came behind the millennials, you have them saying, no wife, you have the men saying, no wife, I want a husband. You have the women saying, no husband, I want a wife. Then you have the women also saying, I want a velveteen marriage. I want a velvet marriage. I want where I can be with a man. He's feminine, he's gay, but he's the father of my children and I love him such. I love him. Oh my God, I love him. Right? You're absolutely correct. I love when people like this in the chat right here. All dealt 3778. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comment, right? You were birthed by a woman. Absolutely. You were birthed by a woman. Everything needs an incubator, right? The woman did not create the man. The man created the woman. Let me help you. When a woman, because some of us didn't take science class, I think they start reducing the science classes. And so in science, it tells us that a man has 130 million created sperm a day. I want you guys to go Google this. Make sure you understand what I'm saying. And when a man walks around with that in him, that's life. That's living. Those are living things in this man's testicles and in his sperm every day. When he lays down with you and he ejaculates into the vagina, that life goes into your body, swims its way through there, finds an egg, lays on top of it, and activates that egg, and that egg becomes life. So absolutely, you go through the pain of having a child, and absolutely, we are aware that you go through the pain. However, the pain is a curse for your disobedience. So now you can't blame man for your disobedience, because if we do it biblically, which I'll always go back biblically because I am a Christian. So if you go back biblically, you'll see that the pain that you endure from having a child becomes from the curse of your disobedience. Your disobedience caused the pain. God says, just because of your disobedience, you will have pain in your childbearing. But that's neither here nor there. Again, back to what I was saying. I just want to address that comment for sure. Right now, we do understand that the Democratic Party is absolutely 100% weak. I want to involve you guys, because we're gonna get into the video in a second, but I want to involve you guys in this show very, very much today. And guys, make sure you like, subscribe when you're coming in. Like, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're here every day of the week almost, except on Saturday. And I have different shows on, this is my network. I have different shows every day that come on every day with different perspectives, things I agree with, things I don't agree with. And I think that's the way that things should be in this country anyway, right? Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I can't support someone who wants to get their vision out. And of course, right? So every day we have a different show on this network. So hit the like button, subscribe button, give to the channel as well, because this channel is not, you can't run none of this free. But I definitely want to just from a voting perspective, I think that even now the young kids, one of the things I agree with, the young kids are saying, I ain't doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. If I don't see no bread, I'm not going to the polls. And people are mad about that. People are mad that the young kids say that we're not voting anymore. For what? I don't got no bread. I'm not finna vote for nobody to get into the White House, or vote for anybody to get in Senate or Congress where their bank account's going to go up to $1 million and mine's going to stay the same. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I'm gonna get into the video. All right. If you guys want to come up, the link is in the chat. If you don't see it, please notify me, and I will put it in there for you guys. All right. If you don't see it. But you're welcome to come up and have this conversation. All right, so I'm going to pull the video up. We'll go through it. This is my first time watching it too. I've only watched probably 15 seconds of the video, and I thought it would be more intriguing to do this video with you guys in real time. So let's see what we got. 1 second here. All right. There we go. All right, guys. So we're gonna go through this video together. All right. This is Brother Roland Martin, and Mr. Pink Man is what we're gonna call him, because I think his name is I don't want to be that disrespectful. Okay, so I'm gonna get a man his whatever his name is. Michael Bland is his name. Okay, so we're gonna go through this video together, and we're gonna talk about it. Come on, say you already smell the butter biscuits. All right, so I'm gonna hit play. Now, I want you guys, like I said again, I want you guys to have some power today. So anybody wants to donate, listen, you could donate to the channel. It could be 99 cents, it can be $130, it could be $200. Donate to the channel, right? Once the super chat comes up, guys, if you want me to stop the video and you want to put your perspective in there, I will definitely, whatever you put in the super chat, I will talk about that And I would say that, but put it in the super chat. All right, 99 cents to $150, $200, or whatever you feel like you want to give to the channel for this great content. But I will read each one of yours, and you guys have the power to stop the video with your super chat and put in the super chat what you would like me, or how you would like me to respond to this, or rewind it, or go forward, or whatever. All right. So the power's in your hands to do that. I'm going to hit the play button now, and we're going to discuss it. Here we go. Make sure I got the volume turned up for you guys. All right, here we go.
There are a lot of black men who are also angry at Democrats because of black girl magic. See, I ain't got a problem saying it. And I've had conversations with many sisters who kept assigning everything to misogyny. And I said, you can't do that. And I'm like, take it from me as a black man.
Okay, so we're already starting out crazy, right? We're talking about black girl magic. Say what you will. Black girl magic is basically a way to say what? That we are in charge. We're not listening to you men anymore. We no longer need you. We no longer want to have you in our lives. We no longer need you for babies. We're no longer, even though that's a lie, we no longer need you for babies. We no longer need you. So black girl magic is just a prerequisite for we don't need you anymore. And as we move forward, because like I said, I ain't seen all of this. We're going to see how Roland is going to take this and how he's going to deal with it. So let's continue.
I know the conversations that I have. And so what I've had to say to brothers is, brothers, you're offended by black girl magic. You're offended when people say that black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. It's also factually correct that black men are the second largest voting bloc of the Democratic Party.
That's right.
And a lot of these brothers are upset. Because I had a brother who told me, who was running in Texas, he said, you ain't got no shot in running if you're a black man. You got to be a black woman. And I was like, where did you get that from?
I'll tell you where you get it from. Because you see the ongoing support of women saying the sisterhood. It's the sisterhood. Everybody knows about the sisterhood. So that guy in Texas is absolutely right. Roland Martin is so, and I love Roland. I promise you I do. I used to watch him every day. But he's so desperate to make Democrats look good. He's starting to look bad. He's starting to look bad. He is so out of touch. It is just ridiculous at how out of touch he is. He does not understand what the sisterhood looks like. Women are in droves supporting each other no matter what the woman does. I am shocked to see how women are holding Dr. Shy. I'm sorry. Like she Shy, Ian Bryant. I'm surprised to see how they're holding her accountable right now. But there's still women out there that says she's a doctor, even though we watched video of her yesterday cursing out a black man like he was nothing, but encouraged women to be with the same man or the same type of man that she just cursed out. And she called him soft and feminine and whatever. That's the sisterhood. So yes, the black guy is right. You have to, if you are a black woman and you are in politics, they're going to put on their chucks like they did for Kamala, and their chucks and their AKA outfits, and they're going to come out in their demonic ass fraternities and sororities, and they're going to stomp and they're going to holler and they're going to pick who they're going to support, and they're going to support her. Facts. Let's continue.
And he started explaining to me, and this is what I said to him, and this is the reality, Michael. A lot of these brothers are pissed off that these sisters have organized themselves, have mobilized themselves, are raising money, are doing what they're supposed to do. And then when I look over here, I see a whole bunch of brothers with attitudes and sour faces. And my response to them is, well, why aren't you organizing?
I want to see the numbers. Somebody in the chat, y'all help me chat, because y'all some intelligent people. help me. Somebody put a link in the chat. Somebody tell me in the chat. Anybody of knowledge, tell me. These women have organized. Absolutely. Okay, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. They've organized. Can you tell me what they've done? Because you organized and raised $1 billion for Kamala. She's at home right now. You lost your home girl. What's her name? You lost Stacey Abrams, was trying to run for governor. What happened? You organized for Stacey Abrams in Georgia. What happened? I just want to see the proof. I want to see the proof of the success. Can we see the proof of the success? Where is it? If you organized and you've done something, show me the proof of what you've done. Jasmine Crockett just ran for Senate. What happened? What happened? She gave up her Congress seat to run for Senate. What happened to her? She at home. She's not in politics anymore. She at the house. So you organized for Stacey. She didn't win governor. You organized for Jasmine Crockett. She didn't win Senate. You organized for Kamala Harris with your Chucks on, with Megan Thee Stallion on stage, popping and going on Quavo up there emasculated, looking like a woman with a see-through shirt on. You organized and y'all raised all that money, but where's the evidence of your success? You're organized, but there's no success. Now, anybody want to prove me wrong? Hit the link, come up here. It's at the top of the link. However, if you don't see the link, let me know. I'll put it in the chat. You can come up here and we can have the conversation. But I want somebody in the chat, please tell me, please tell me what the success looks like under the organization of women. Somebody show me, Roro, Uncle Roro, show us the I think everybody should have receipts. You should not be on here talking about women organizing and there's no evidence of them organizing and showing the success of their organizing. You raised almost $1 billion for Kamala Harris and she lost. You can save your money for a car and you can buy the car. But if you don't got no more money coming in, how you gonna move without gas? Y'all building cars, but y'all ain't put no gas in them. They're not going nowhere. And I hear y'all in the chat. Y'all cooking. Y'all keep cooking. Who's gonna be the first super chat? Somebody put a super chat in there right now. Show the network that you guys support the network. All right. But at the same time, guys, I saw something the other day that people are cheering for. I'm gonna put it on the screen in a few seconds. But I saw something that people were cheering for the other day that I could not believe it. And if it's true, oh, we in trouble. If what I saw the other day is true, we are in trouble. I hope it ain't true. I hope it's not true. I believe it not to be true. But I'm gonna put it up on the screen in a second. But let's get back to the video. Because man, this is wow.
And I've said, listen, I got no problem. I've said to Khalil, bruh, win with black men. Yes, we had that great call the day after Kamala Joe dropped out. I said, but the meetings have to continue. Black women, the reason win with black women is so potent today is because they started as the purpose was to get the nomination for Kamala Harris. They achieved their goal in 2024. Then they said, well, let's keep going. In 2020, they said, well, let's keep going. And the problem that I see with black men, and Michael, I've told this to many black men, stop bitching that sisters have organized and mobilized and you got to do it yourself. And if we really want to be honest, Michael, and I'm about to step on some serious toes, the reason many of these brothers don't want to organize and mobilize because historically when it came to organizing and mobilizing, it was the sisters who were doing the planning. I'm just gonna call it what it is.
Roland.
Now, I'm going to take this video back a few seconds. I need to take it back a few seconds because I want y'all to see, I want y'all to learn how to watch people's mannerisms. I need you to watch their body language. I need you to see when a man it taps into his femininity to get the acceptance from women. Oh, if y'all didn't see it the first time, I want to take it back a little bit. And I want you guys to see for yourselves when the femininity, when he taps into that little woman that's inside of him. I need y'all to see this. Let's take the video back just a few moments.
I can't listen.
Because historically, when it came to organizing and mobilizing, it was the sisters who were doing the planning.
Look at it. Look at it. You see it? You see what I'm saying? It was the sisters who was doing the planning. And then he makes this face. Why? Because it's more relatable amongst Black women. That sassy ass shit he got on his face right now is because of sassy ass women. And now, when I hit play again, I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm saying because I need y'all to listen. When I hit the play button, he smacked his lips, and then Pink Panther beside him is clapping in agreement. But I want you guys to see Roland Martin's eyes when he looks at his team to get their affirmation of what he just said. Just pay attention. All right, guys, this is great content. I need some super chats in here, and I need the likes to get up. All right, we got 50 people watching right now. I need 50 likes right now. Hit the like button. We're gonna hit the play button, but I'm gonna hit it. But I need the likes to go up to around 50 right now. So everybody hit the like button right now. Take 10 seconds. Go. Take 10 seconds. Go. Go ahead. Let's get the likes up. Let's get them likes all the way up. I appreciate you guys for being here. Get the likes up. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you're enjoying the content, I need these cash apps to start rolling in. It's rolling at the bottom of the screen. And I also need you guys to put the super chat. Hey, okay, listen. We got our first cash app for today. We got a $5 cash app from Kamal Johnson, man, paid by you, man. Thank you so much. He said, you cooking today? Man, I appreciate that cash app, man. So that's the first one for today. So thank you so much, my guy, for sending the cash app. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the appreciation for the channel and what we try to do here. So thank you so much, my bud. I appreciate it. All right, so now y'all see his face. Look at this. Look at this. Look at his face. Look at him. That's sassiness. Now, when I hit the play button, I want you guys to watch very closely on how he turns his eyes to his female, damn near all female team behind the cameras to get, because he has a live audience sitting in there, and to get their affirmation. Watch this.
I'm just gonna call it what it is.
Roland, I can't listen. I won't disagree with you. I would tell you this: some of my biggest mentors. I would tell you this: some of my.
Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Who are you looking at? He need affirmation. He needs to feel good about this sassy shit he putting out. He needs to feel good about this sassy shit he put. So we're gonna watch it all the way through again, and I want y'all to just watch it in real time. Just watch this right now. Here we go. There's the look at Jesus Christ. Well, like a tomato that sat out too long. Okay, here we go.
Organize and mobilize, because historically, when it came to organizing and mobilizing, it was the sisters who were doing the planning.
Yeah, sassy.
I'm just gonna call it what it is.
Look at everybody.
Roland, I can't listen. I won't disagree with you. I would tell you this: some of my biggest mentors and some of my folks that I revere in this game are Black women. I can go from Shavonda Sumter. I can go to Judith Finellis. I can go on and on. I mean, the names that can speak ad nauseum. Regina Thomas, my mother, Kelly Ledette. and even you look at the civil rights movement, they were the ones who were really organizing. They were writing the letters. They were, providing a place and, providing a place to stay. They were making the food. They were really, they women. I'm gonna go from Siobhan to some Annie.
All right, let me go back. Y'all know I gotta get them. I'm sorry. I tried not to. I'm sorry. Here we go. Now, one time, I told y'all at the beginning of the show that I haven't watched this, but I can tell that this man was raised by a single mother. Now, one time did he mention his father. You see, his mannerisms are not that of a masculine man. You see in the lisp, in the way he speaks, that he's aisle 5 at Walmart. If you're not familiar with aisle 5 at Walmart, the majority of aisles at Walmart that are in aisle number 5 has the sugar products. This man is saying that every mentor and everybody that mentored him and made him who he is today, he was taught by a woman. This is the problem in America today. This is why men can't organize. It's because we have ops like this, men like this, who will say these things and not organize with men. This man ain't gonna organize with no man. He's not. Roland Martin, I'm gonna find the video on Roland when a young man came up and said, we're not depending on the I don't know if anybody saw this. If you can find this in the chat, please send it to me at blackmanunfiltered@gmail.com so I can play it today or next week. But there was a guy on Roland Martin Unfiltered, and he said to Roland, we're not depending on the government. Me and several other young men bought a school where we're teaching young men trades, how to dress, how to act in public, how to behave, how to be structured. We're doing it on our own. We don't need. And he said, Roland, I was a fan of yours until you saw what I was doing and you called me ignorant because I'm not taking handouts from the government. Roland Martin talked down on the young man who is building a school on his own with his own money and donations from his own community. And Roland Martin is saying you could do better if you would accept a Democratic check. And he said, we're not waiting on that. We're not waiting on the Democrats. We're not waiting on a check from them. If anybody can find it, please send it to me. He said, we're not waiting on that. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's assassination. But I want y'all to look at Pink Panther. We're going to call him, fuck him, Pink Panther. We're going to listen to what he says again. Everything he is, everything he was, everything he's going to be, his mentors, everything he's done as a man has been injected to him with femininity. Guys, even the leaders who say they're civil rights leaders like Jamal Bryant. Take Jamal Bryant, for instance. Jamal Bryant just had a ceremony at his church where the women of the church put a feminine cloth on his back. And in the feminine cloth, she says that the feminine spirit of God is over you. And he got down on a knee and allowed these women to put a feminine cloak over his back to say that he's feminine, and he accepted it. Oh God, damn, what's happening? This feminine energy is everywhere. And we talk about men need to stop bitching and get organized. How can we organize when half the niggas we're trying to organize with are the young men who was raised by their mama, who wearing fingernail polish, wigs, dresses, talking like women, and the niggas that ain't dressing like women, acting like women. You can't, we don't know. We know women, the sisterhood. We know the sisterhood gonna be the sisterhood. They all gonna stick together. It's probably a few that's not gonna stick together. I mean, it's a few out there that be like, hell no. But in the men, how the hell we know who to trust? When you got men who are turning on men, but acting like men to be in the situation with men, to learn what the men are doing, to go back to tell the women, to give the women a step up over the men. This is ridiculous. Somebody, listen, maybe, right? So like people like this in the chat. He says, oh my God, your mama must not love you at all. listen, hey, it looks like you got cerebral palsy, but at the same time, I'm gonna say something to you, Robert. Okay, because Robert, if you have something you would like to mention about the content that I'm doing right now, the link is in the chat. All you gotta do is click it, come up here. I have the grill very hot to cook. Come up here. My mom must not love me. She probably don't, but I guarantee you one thing, the difference between me and you, I'm gonna hold my mama accountable. If my mama out there bad, I'm gonna say she out there bad. If my mama do something stupid, I'm gonna say she out there stupid. We have this, I always say it, I always say, right, that men have this Tupac syndrome, and this is one of them. This guy right here, right, Robert Boyd, we have women, they have this syndrome, the Tupac syndrome, where no matter what they mama do, they're going to love they mama through. Did you hear what I just said? No matter what they mama do, they're gonna love their mama through. And so he says, your mama must not love you. No. This is a representation, not just for my mother. This is a representation for everybody. What I'm doing right now is a representation for everybody. Right? because what he's talking about, because I'm looking at you, Robert. I'm looking at you right now. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see you, Robert. I'm looking at close-up pictures of you, Robert Boyd. He said, oh my God, your mom must not love you at all. Well, listen, it does not look like, because see, white people, I love all people, but some of y'all get out of line when you talk about coming in and try to talk about your family. But I'm looking at your picture, Robert, and it seems like your mama didn't love you at all. And that's why you married Caitlyn Jenner. See on the picture right here? It looks like you married Caitlyn Jenner. So it looks like you married a version of your mom who looked like a man. Huh? So you and Caitlyn Jenner, you need to take that picture down. Okay, everybody see this picture. Robert Boyd, take that picture down, because it's like you married Caitlyn Jenner. See, now if you want to come with insults, I do this. I can do this all day. So you and Caitlyn Jenner go have lunch today. Where y'all at? Y'all on a nice little date, right? Y'all gonna go home, do a couple of reach arounds, lay down. Somebody's gonna get it up their ass. So Robert Boyd, listen, you come in with some respect, or I'm trying my best not to come out of retirement on your ass. Okay, all right, let's continue. We got at Trinity Smith 79. Thank you, man, for being here. He said, black men are true leaders. You never find a female version of Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, or Marcus Garvey. I'm going to add to that, Trinity. I'm going to add to what you just said. How many women, he said, civil rights movement, the women did all the organizing. Well, how many of the women lost their lives? Let's talk about the big assassinations of women who were in the civil rights movement. Let's talk about colorism in the civil rights movement. Because we know that Rosa Parks was the first woman to sit her ass down on a bus and not move. Yeah, so let's talk about colorism. Let's see. Let's see here. So anyway, so if we're looking at it from a perspective of even, like I said, colorism, let's go back to colorism. Even colorism in the civil rights movement. Roland not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that Claudette Colvin. If you guys don't know who that is, look her up. Claudette Colvin was on the bus first. Very dark-skinned young lady who sat down on the bus and refused to give up her seat. And once she refused to give up her seat, she got arrested, right? But Claudette Colvin was a young girl, a teenager, who had already had a child. She was very dark-skinned. They didn't use her. but they used Rosa Parks because she was more profitable in their agenda. Y'all think I'm lying? Oh, look up. Claudette Colvin was the first woman to sit down on the bus and not move. Not Rosa Parks. But she was more beneficial because she was color. It was colorism back in the day. She was closer to the color that they could use back in the day. He said that women were organized even in the civil rights movement. But how many of them got shot in the head? How many of them gave speeches and got stabbed? How many of them? How many? Somebody tell me. Give it to me. Huh? Oh, we want to talk about the civil rights movement. Let's talk about Malcolm X. He gave his life for what he believed in. He gave his life for his people. And his wife was one of the biggest cheaters on planet Earth. Malcolm X's wife is documented that she cheated on that man several times. She's a cheater. They may need to go and swab the mouths of his children to make sure those may be his children, because his wife was out in them streets. She was out there bad.
Back to the streets with you.
And Malcolm didn't know, but this prayer's for him.
Let's have a moment of silence for every man who tried to turn a hoe into a housewife. Okay, bow your head with me, please. There we go.
We got to start. Listen. So the women were a part of the movement, but they were moving too. Well, that's a conversation for another day. Let's get back to the video. Here we go.
I'm just gonna call it what it is.
Now watch this man.
Roland, I can't listen. I won't disagree with you. I will tell you this: some of my biggest mentors and some of my folks that I revere in this game are Black women. I can go from Shavonda Sumter. I can go to Judith Finellis. I can go on and on. I mean, the names that can speak ad nauseum. Regina Thomas, my mother, Kelly Ledette. And even you look at the civil rights movement, they were the ones who were really organizing. They were writing the letters. They were, providing a place to stay. They were making the food. They were really, they're the pillars in the Black church, right? And so we often, we look at that and we do get upset. The reality is, brothers have not put our egos to the side. And I am not ashamed to say, in particular, where Black men vote, some of the backbone and a lot of our brass comes from Black women that work alongside us and Black women that work internally with us. So I'm not ashamed to say that. They do an amazing job. And it's not to say that we can't recruit brothers to do that. I will say this, Roland. There is a gap, at least that I've seen in the last 12 to 14 years. There is a gap from, I would say, Black woman operatives to Black male operatives. I remember in 2014 when I was the field director for Congresswoman Esty in CT5, I sat in a room. We had a GOTV training for all the frontline races. There were about 64 frontline races that year. We were trying to retain the House. And Roland, I was one of 2 Black men in that room. One of 5 Black folk in that room. So that also goes to the structural, that doesn't show up in the autopsy, and it probably wouldn't show up in the autopsy. And that's a whole nother conversation, how certain parties have alienated Black political principles, and yet that's why they've gone on to do other things.
But here's the deal. But here's the deal. I'll never forget, after the 2016 election, when Hillary lost, it was a group of Black women, I'll find the article, who wrote a letter and demanded a meeting with Tom Perez. I sat there and I said, that's what you're supposed to do. Guess who did not do that? Black men. In 2020, I remember it vividly. There were a group of Black men, I was on the text chain, who were trying to do the same thing to send to the DNC after the 2020 election. The letter never got sent.
What does the letter do? Okay, the women sent the letter after 2016. They sent the letter after 2020. Your ass is still took an L. The letter doesn't. What did it do? Y'all got together and wrote a letter 2016, wrote a letter in 2020. We are forgetting that men and women are two different species. Our logic is completely different. Men want to have vision to get shit done. Men are not going to move backwards to what we've already lost. And that's the difference between women and men. Women concentrate on what they lost. Men concentrate on what they can win. Why the fuck would I organize with 500 other men to write a letter after we just got our asses kicked? The logic is to find a way to win. Men are winners. We're innately winners. Internally, we're winners. DNA, we're winners. We're winners. We're warriors. We're not like women. And I think what's happening is that we're trying to compare men and women the same. We are not. Women, go bake a cake. Men, go mow the lawn. Two different fucking things. I'm trying to understand it. Somebody help me in the chat. Somebody help me understand it. Help me understand why they want men and women to be the same. As you can hear him say, I want to go back because I don't want to misjudge what he just said. He just said the women, after a loss in 2016, after a loss in 2020, what are these women dyslexic? Because you're doing the most work after you lose. Where was the power before the loss? Where was your standing with Hillary Clinton before she lost? Where was your standing with Kamala before she lost? With Kamala, y'all raised all that money, put on your AKA outfits, say y'all gonna stomp it down, had abortion vans out in the parking lot at the Democratic convention, and you still got your asses whooped. You got cooked. So what is Roland talking about? He's like a fly at a barbecue. He nagging the shit out of me. He getting on my damn nerves. I want y'all to hear what he just said again. He's basically saying after every L the Democrats took, women wrote letters. This is women organizing. He said he could find he can find it. He said he can find the articles. What? We don't care. Show us where they did something that changed America. Show us where they did something that made America great again. Show us what they did to change any type of policy. They're writing letters after they get cooked. They're cooked. What are we talking about? Jasmine Crockett is cooked. She's out. Kamala Harris lost. She's out. Michelle Obama, stay away. What are we talking about? Somebody put in the chat. Somebody put in the chat right now. Y'all want a woman president. Who would you nominate right now as for a female president? Tell me. AOC? Jasmine Crockett? Who would you nominate right now? Who has some type of swag in the Democratic Party right now that could be president? I'll wait. Put it in the chat. I'll wait. Male or female? I'll wait. Hey, we up here talking about writing letters after losses, but y'all have nobody for the Democratic Party for the presidential race in 2028. I'm waiting. Somebody put in the chat. Somebody said Jasmine Crockett. That's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. So y'all want a president because y'all talk about Donald Trump. Woo! And Jasmine Crockett became president. Do y'all know what that would look like? Do y'all know what that would look like? If Jasmine Crockett became president? Jesus Christ. Lord, that would be terrible. I'm gonna show y'all this because I meant to show y'all this earlier. And while I'm pulling this up, guys, go ahead and send a super chat. Go ahead and send a cash app. Cash app is rolling at the bottom of the screen. This is great content. You guys are here. I'm glad you're here, but show your boy some love, man. We have 70 people watching right now, 70. We should have 70 likes. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the interactions up, guys. Get into the chat, right? Get into the chat. Let me know where you are, where you're from, where you're coming from. I would appreciate that, man. Very, very much to see you guys in the chat today. And see you guys supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Let me pull up this image for y'all real quick because somebody posted this the other day and people went crazy. And if this were to happen, look at this. Somebody put this up the other day. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. If this happened, this is going to be the biggest, softest, sissified country in America. Let me say it again. If this were to happen, Lord, please, right now, can we all have a moment of silence that this never happens? Right? I want to test the temperature of the audience right now. Okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you would like to see leadership, experience, and courage, a new chapter for America. If you would like to see this as your president and vice president of the United States. Can somebody please put a 1 in the chat, put a 2 in the chat if it's a big ass hell no. Put a 2 in the chat if it's a big ass hell no. We got to clip this. Right? Tell me what y'all think, man. Okay, come on. I see you being funny. But tell me what y'all think of this. Can you imagine your vice president? Well, let's start with Michelle. If Michelle was the president, what would it look like? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all support this movement. Put a 2 in the chat if it's a big ass hell no. Okay. Right. Somebody said Gavin Newsom, the same Gavin Newsom that just sat in a crowd full of black people and say, I can't read like y'all can't. What are we talking about? This is Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, the same man. Do anybody remember this? It just happened a few weeks ago. He was sitting in a black convention with a whole bunch of black people, no white people. And he said, hey, listen, I scored low on my ACT too. I can't read like y'all. What? This it? Can you imagine Michelle Obama getting up there saying gay rights for everyone? We want to make sure that it's legal that men can give each other reach arounds in the parks around America. Can y'all imagine that? Can you imagine Jasmine Crockett going to another country, speaking to another country and saying, yeah, bitch. So what I was thinking, bitch, is that we can get this fucking policy done, bitch. You big back, yellow bitch, green eye, monster, white demon devil ass bitch nigga. That's what y'all want? If that's the fact, then make Cheyenne Bryant the director of defense. Shit, make her, put her on the cabinet. Can you imagine that? Michelle Obama, president. Jasmine Crockett, vice president. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, Speaker of the House. Yes. Can you imagine? Oh my God. Big Mike and Ghetto Crockett running for president. Wouldn't that be some shit? Oh. I just want, guys, I'm gonna get back to the video of Roland because like I said, I haven't watched it all either. Guys, I want to know, I'm gonna give you guys 20 seconds. Put your thoughts in the chat right now. Put your thoughts in the chat right now. And I want to see what you guys think. Put 1 if you would support this. put 2 for hell no, and put your reasons why you chose what you chose. 20 seconds. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you some water. 20 seconds. Oh my goodness. R-Pain, get up here, R-Pain. I need you, R-Pain. R-Pain, come on, R-Pain. Get up here. Get up here, R-Pain. We got 50 people watching. Listen, while y'all putting, somebody put 8 twos. While y'all putting y'all comments in there for the, y'all got 10 more seconds. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe button. If you're not been here, this content is great. We have great content all week. Go ahead and send your super chat and or your Cash App, which is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Okay, let me see that. Let me see the love, man, because y'all showing your boy some love today by being here. But show me some love in that Cash App. Show me some love in that super chat to keep this channel going, because it does cost us to make sure this channel keeps going. All right. But this is hilarious. Leadership, experience, and courage. What would you do if you woke up and they say the president of the United States, Michelle Obama, Vice President Jasmine Crockett? Woo, that'd be something. I bet them visas would, I bet them damn, I bet it'll be if you want to, I bet it'll be the first time, because they're going to open up them borders. The gay marriage is going to be the new marriage. Traditional men, you already heard Michelle. Michelle says she thank God he didn't have a boy for Barack. Y'all don't believe me? Go look it up. Jasmine Crockett ain't got no man, so you have a single woman who fuck around, because you know Jasmine Crockett, by how ghetto she is, oh, somebody hidden that. Man, several niggas are hidden that, for sure. Right? Michelle Obama, I'll leave that to y'all. Y'all already know what that is. This is wild. I just wanted to put this out there. What are y'all thoughts? I'm looking in the chat right now. Y'all lighting their asses up. There's somebody said, imagine voting for a tranny and a libertard race baiter. Somebody said 2 bombs. Of course. Right? Uh-oh, y'all. We got an opposer. Men been doing it for years, and look what we got. Been doing what? Be more specific. Use your words. All right, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys, and share this content. Right, give to this channel. Right, we do this every day. We do this every day, guys. All right, now I do have somebody that came up in the back right here that I'm gonna add to the show. I have Kamal in the building, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Man, I'm so happy to have him up. Let's see what he has to say about what this mess is going on. Kamal, what's going on, my guy?
Hey, what's going on, brother, man? Hey, BMU, bro, you cooking today, bro. God damn, you got me over here rolling, bro. Goodness.
I appreciate you, and thank you for the Cash App earlier too, man. I appreciate that as well.
No problem, bro. I'm glad I stumbled upon this network. You feel me? Like I started following you like 3 weeks ago, and
okay.
Like I wanted to kind of listen what you had to offer before even coming up or doing anything. You had a couple people up on here like that I fuck with. You feel me? Like from Beans. Shout out to Beans. You feel me? I was on a panel with Toros one time.
Okay.
You feel me? Shout out to Toros. You feel me? Yeah, bro. I like what you got going on, bro. And today you cooking with hot grease, bro. God damn.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate it, man. I think we're getting to a point, man. And what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts about they saying that men need to stop bitching and get more organized? What are your thoughts on the subject of the show today?
Well, my thoughts is, and I talk about this a lot on my end on things and shit. I'm tired of these motherfuckers wagging their finger at us.
Yeah.
That butter biscuit babble shit, bro, we done with that. And Roland Martin, you kind of the king of the butter biscuit babbling, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that wagging they finger at us black men, when they hit us with shit, hey, BMU, you remember that no bucking, no voting?
Yeah. Saucy Santana.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no voting. What was it? What was the phrase?
It was no fucking, no voting.
Yeah, no fucking, no voting. Yeah, I remember. I also remember the strip club. Remember the strip club when they had the girls in the strip club saying, if you want to vote, come and register to vote at the strip club and all this. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Give me just a second. We got a super chat here, $2 from at occur 7227. MAGA 2028. Hey, I mean, if he can pull it off, he'll pull it off. You know, we're going to need something different again, because what we have now is just not going to work, Corey. It's just not going to work. And I appreciate it. So thank you for the super chat, guys. You too can give her a super chat too, just like Occur did. Thank you so much for giving a $2 super chat. I appreciate it. But yeah, man. But go ahead and continue. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's all good, bro. I just feel like the shit is problematic when they come talk to us black men about voting and they think we vote with our dicks and shit. They disrespect us in front of our face when we want tangibles. They don't be talking about tangibles for us as black Americans, as black men. That shit is hella problematic to me. So
Right.
This shit be like, this shit at this point kind of like a joke to me. So the way you talking and what you talking about today, this like right up my alley. You feel me? And like,
Absolutely.
yeah, this shit is hella problematic. The Michelle Obama, and she got the same policies as Obama, which by the way, he didn't do shit for black folks. I know some of y'all gonna be in the chat crying about that shit, but he ain't do a goddamn thing for us.
Nothing. You know what I said? And I don't try to be funny, but sometimes it just happens that way. I said all Barack Obama gave us was bombs, booty, and deportation. That's it.
Yeah.
He bombed a whole lot of people quietly. People don't want to hold him accountable. He gave you gay marriage, and he gave you deportation. They call him the Porter Chief the Porter Chief because guess what? He was putting 400,000 people out of this country a month.
Yeah.
He was a year banging them out, and nobody says anything. Then when Donald Trump becomes president and does the same thing in a lesser number, but he's loud about it, everybody's upset.
Yeah, I be saying like, look, Obama like the Michael Jordan of the deporting niggas. He get him out of there.
Absolutely.
But nobody want to talk about it.
Nobody.
You feel me? And I gotta say on your platform, brother, I'm apolitical, right? So I'm not for the Democrats nor the Republicans. Right. I'm for policies for us.
Absolutely. I agree.
All right. And what's up, R-Pain? How you doing, brother?
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's up, BNU?
What's going on, man? So yeah, man. So my thing is, I want to put this up here again for R-Pain and you. R-Pain, if you woke up tomorrow morning and you saw this on your TV.
You mean, I saw it, man. You
what
could
are
take
you
it down.
thinking?
You could take it down. You can take that shit down. Listen, man, I wanted to say something. I was listening anyway. Listen, one of the problems that we have is, one, I think a liberal black woman will destroy America. Matter of fact, I would never vote for another liberal black woman. I don't believe in anything they stand for. And, you know, Malcolm X said it, 40 years ago, that the white liberal is the biggest enemy of black people.
Mm-hmm.
Today, a black liberal is. Black liberals are the biggest enemy to black people because they believe in all the fuck shit, man. They've been painted like they're the Roland Martin has gotten to them, and it's like a cult now. So they want men to lead, but they don't want us to lead in any other way than what they tell us. They want to tell us how to lead. Because if black men actually wanted to be in leadership, we'd be conservatives. We wouldn't promote this fuck shit, mutilating children, open borders, gay marriage, unfettered abortions. I believe in exceptions, but there's a lot of shit that the liberal socialism, we wouldn't believe in all that shit, giving our hard-earned money to some lazy motherfucker sitting down. So when I talk to people about liberalism against capitalism, I've been here against conservatism. I'm not talking about Republicans. I said I didn't vote Democrat once I opened my eyes. I don't believe in anything they believe in. Right, their policies. If we just argue on policy lines, we won't have to get into this back and forth from who did who and who did. We had those shows up here, right? So there's like 5 or 6 things. I don't believe in cashless bail. You do a crime, I want your ass to stay in jail for whatever commensurate position you need to be in there. You know what I'm saying? I think you should do the time for the crime. I think that if I'm in a neighborhood, I said this before, and there's a Walmart and a pharmacy or stores that the neighborhood needs, that if those stores leave, we'll have a desert, like a food desert or a pharmacy desert, then those stores should be protected. There should be cops on the beat at those stores 24/7. And anybody stealing from those stores should get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, so the companies can see the profits flowing through that organization. And then I could go as a community leader to those corporations and say, hey, listen, your store in my area is protected. How about giving us discounts on a regular basis? How about, I mean, we can start doing that. Instead, after the fact, when the stores close, we get a couple of fat black women and some sycophantic man come out there with a bullhorn saying how the store is racist. That's bullshit. Well, after we let the community raid the place blind, the community closed those stores, not the stores. So I mean, we just all upside down because women are in charge.
And guess what? And even with the Roland Martin situation, guys, if you pay attention very closely, right? I have my producer in the back, baby back there. When I need something, baby sending it to me. So shout out to my baby. Shout out to my baby back there, making sure I have everything that I need. So, but I definitely want to show y'all this video because I asked for it earlier and she found it for me. And I want to show you what it looks like, guys, to have a black man who's out here trying to do things for black men. And you have people like Roland Martin, who is telling this young man, that it ain't shit. That what he doing ain't shit. So I'm gonna pull it up, and we're gonna look at it real quick. Here we go. I don't know if y'all remember this, but he cooked Roland ass like a turkey on Thanksgiving because this man said he's not looking for handouts to help his community. Here we go.
Why in the world? You're conservative, correct?
Yes, sir.
Please explain to me why this bill, why Republicans are pushing forth a voter suppression bill when last year we saw record turnout in Georgia, record turnout. So why would they want to restrict voting when you just had record turnout in Georgia?
Well, let me start off by saying you had me mistaken. I'm not a Republican. I do consider myself conservative.
No. Actually, I didn't say Republican. I said you're conservative.
Okay.
I said you're conservative.
Right, absolutely.
That's what I said.
Right. Yeah, I was saying that because you called me a Republican on Twitter. However, with this particular bill, I don't consider voting my particular fight. I do consider voting an asset to us and maybe something we can use as a tactic to help. But as far as us pushing voting all the way out, like voting is going to be some systemic change for the black community, to me is not the way to go. If you look at the human anatomy of the body has its many different parts. And I do respect you guys' fight, in regards to voting, but I don't consider myself fighting for the right to vote that much.
Do you not vote?
We hadn't got anything.
Do you not vote?
Government. Yes, sir. I vote. Absolutely.
Okay. So when you say you guys' fight, first of all, there are multiple fights, the multiple issues we can be concerned about. Voting is one of those issues. Are you not concerned that Republicans in your state are trying to restrict access to the ballot for no reason other than they are pushing the lie that Donald Trump also pushed?
Right. Absolutely. I understand exactly what you're saying. However, again, that's not my fight. I believe.
No. I know. I asked you a question. The question is this here. Do you believe Republicans in your state are wrong to be pushing this voter suppression bill?
Can you give me the list of things that's all on the bill? Because I know you said the voter ID.
Well, no. Here's a perfect example. This particular bill right here gets rid of no excuse absentee balloting. Republicans in Georgia passed no excuse absentee balloting 15 years ago, thinking it was going to help them. They're angry because you had people who voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and also John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock won. So they're changing the law because they're angry they lost at the ballot box. But for 14 years, it was fine until last year. Is that, again, do you consider that to be egregious on the part of Georgia Republicans? Why would they change the law because they lost? How about making a better argument for the voters?
I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. I'm not against you there. I definitely think that is an issue that I believe you guys could fight. But that again, voting is not
The
my issue to
cooking
fight.
will
I believe-
ensue.
So what's your issue to fight?
In about 30 seconds.
My issue, I fight for young black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization. I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting is going to be the be all end all.
No one says the be all the end all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just going to change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype.
So men are not organized, Arpain. Come on. Men are not organized. Men are not doing anything. As you can see, Arpain, earlier, Roland Martin on the other video, he said in 2016, after the loss with Hillary, the ladies got together, black women got together and wrote a letter. After 2020, Kamala, they wrote a letter after Kamala lost. So they're doing things after they lose. This young man is saying, I'm not looking for a handout. I am simply trying to do something for young men. And Roland Martin is putting his foot on this man's neck because this man is trying to do something in his community.
Well, listen, I mean, Roland Martin just got his ass kicked. And you know what? I think this is the kind of shit that if we want to promote, I know we could have the argument. I'm not trying to change it to we should get this name and we should all be promoting this brother and the things that he's doing. I've seen him a couple of times, but if he's not on your algorithm, you don't see him enough. I need to go find him because he probably has all kinds of links for donation from people. That's how we can help.
Exactly.
He's actually doing some great work, man. I've seen him. I don't see enough of him. I'm not on X. I first saw him on X, and he said, I don't know, when was this? Like a few years ago?
Yeah.
Or like 2018, right? Wasn't it 2018?
Yeah. So I'm sure he's still doing a lot of stuff, and he's a grown man now. I mean, more than that. He's probably 27 now or something like that.
Yeah.
So his organization, listen, and he talked about putting a school together, the shit that Dr. Umar is still fucking around with. This guy said the school don't have to be 1,000 people. It could just be 20, 10, whatever, And he just, so I'm just saying, man. These are the kind of things
I'm gonna let y'all finish. I'm gonna let y'all see this massacre continue. How he cooked Roaz.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Watch this.
Such an ass.
That I'm young, black in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're gonna go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's gonna change in our community.
So you went to the juvenile court system. Is that not government?
Absolutely.
So when you say purchased a school, and this school is going to be what? Private school, charter school? What kind of school is it going to be?
No, it will be independently owned. This will not be funded by the government.
No, that's why I asked you. So it's going to be a private school?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a boarding school.
A boarding school. And then for the folks to be able to afford to send their kids to the boarding school, what kind of mechanisms are they using in Georgia? Their own funds? Are they using school vouchers? What are they using?
I can't hear you. Say that again for me.
I said, what mechanism are they using to send their kids there to pay for the school? Their own money, or are they utilizing vouchers from the Georgia government?
Absolutely. So for our school, we're financed completely by donors. We have many donors that have given yearly endowments to our school that will be able to pay for these students to come to our school for free. Many people believe in our mission, and we're making sure that young Black men, where we live, where we don't have any rehab programs for juvenile offenders to even get out of jail and stay out of jail, we have people that believe in our mission that are trying to send children to the Extra Boys for free. We have many people that are trying to send kids to this boarding school to be able to take care of themselves. That's what I mean by doing for self. We got to simply get up and do it.
So you don't believe that government policymakers play any role whatsoever in being able to impact the lives of Black boys and others in Georgia?
If we take them out of that government system, we don't have to worry about that. I keep saying,
how is that? So no, hold on. So here's the question. Hold up. Here's the question. Mm-hmm. How do you remove someone out of a government system when we all live in government systems?
Okay, being literal, absolutely, we all live in a government system. Absolutely. However, you can do things to remove most government from your life.
How?
As far as trying to get yourself out of food stamps, trying to get yourself off of welfare. You got to go work. You got to get jobs. You got to get out here and go and do it.
So hold up. So I'm just curious. So if somebody doesn't have a job, are they not applying to government for unemployment benefits or insurance?
Absolutely.
So how can that person remove themselves out of government when that's what government provides?
Absolutely. Well, my thing is trying to make sure you're not allowing the government to finance your whole entire life. As long as you're giving somebody the right to feed you, you're giving them the right to starve you as well. People are living their whole lives off the government systems. It was the day the government decide, well, we're going to cut food stamps, we're going to cut this and cut that. What we going to do? We have people out here living off those systems. So I believe in teaching our people how to go survive without the government. That's my biggest thing.
But again, though, you keep saying, I'm trying to understand. You keep saying how to survive without the government. You act as if a young Black boy comes into your program.
I got a question too. What year was it?
Let me just say this. You know what the word the brother needs to say, and that's why you need help, is dependency. He's talking about not being dependent on the government.
Right.
And that's the word. I mean, go ahead, bro. I mean, but that's it. That's what Roland is trying to be obtuse, because he knows exactly what the brother means.
Right. And he could help him right now, but he's choosing to be against him.
That's why he's a demon.
Yep.
He knows exactly what the brother means. Go ahead, man, my man.
Yeah, here we go.
Yo, BMU, hold on. What year was this?
Let me see. Hey, babe, my producer in the back. Baby, find out what year this was, please. If you can see what year this was and just text it to me real quick. You said something? Yeah, what year was it? Yeah. But yeah, so I'll find out for you. Just a second. Come on. When she tell me, I'll stop the video. I'll tell you.
With government in any way, they will interface with government still driving down the street. They will interface with government trying to get a driver's license. They will interface with government trying to get a voter ID. They will interface with government trying to apply for financial aid to go to college. So they're going to interface with government in many ways. The point I'm saying is, doesn't it make sense that Black folks should be engaged in a political process to where we are impacting policy that also impacts us? Are you saying that doesn't matter at all?
I only believe that we should breed politicians in our community that we raise ourselves. People that are funded by white Democrats, white Republicans alike. If you were funded by anybody white, I don't believe you have the best interests of our community at all. I don't care who you are. Whether you be Raphael Warnock, John Ossoff, Kelly Loeffler, or what's his name? The other guy that was running. I don't care who you are. You don't have the best interests of Black community at heart, because we are not funding their campaigns fully. I believe that we have to raise our own politicians, which is what we're trying to do in our program. We are going to put them in government. Some of them want to go run for positions, but we know we bred them in our communities.
But wait, hold on. See, not
nothing white Democrats that came and gave us and spent millions of dollars on all these ads and got folks all riled up about these guys for you to come keep Black people remain a Democrat Party and the Republican Party side chick. They only come to the Black community when they want our vote to get off and then disappear. We don't never see them again.
But here's the thing that's interesting. You just offered a contradiction. You first say you want to remove people from government, but then you say you're raising them to run. So which one is it?
When I say remove from government, I'm saying keep as much government out of your life as possible.
But how are you raising people to run for office?
Say it again.
How are you then raising people to run for office if you don't want folks involved in government? So so here's the deal. Okay, how about this? So the young men that you're raising up to be in government, how in the world are they going to be able to be effective when you have Republicans who are passing voter suppression laws, and then you're saying, well, that's really our issue? Aren't they making it harder for the very folks you trying to raise up to get elected?
Hey, you know what?
I didn't say our issue. I said that.
You know, when he keeps talking about voter suppression laws, everything that first of all, again, it's the bigotry of low expectations. Like, if white people could continue to vote under whatever policy, so could black. It's like we're too dog shit stupid to have the right credentials to vote. This that whole thing, and I don't agree that there's a voter suppression law. I mean, okay, so they don't want people to have those ballots anymore, those mail-in ballots. Not just to stop blacks from doing it, right? They got a whole bunch of white people who thought that was a Benny. They want to protect it from illegals voting. They want to make it a law of the land, so there's checks and balances on who's actually putting the ballot in. You know, so it's not just because they want to stop blacks from voting, or like a voter ID is to keep blacks from voting. Why? How could we not get an ID? If you wanted to buy a fucking car, a black person will have all the credentials they need to buy a car. So now that they can't find a way to buy a vote, that whole thing when a woman gets married and takes the last name of her husband, she can't vote. They've been doing that shit for years. What the fuck does that mean? These are all smoke screens. And, you know, I can only stomach so much of Roland Martin.
In our pain, you know, they're taking your rights to vote, our pain. You know that? They're taking you can't vote anymore, our pain. They're taking it from you, our pain.
And it's a lie. It's a lie.
Oh God, we can't vote no more, our pain. They say they're taking us. I heard Jasmine Crockett say the other day, they're taking us back to Jim Crow.
Yeah, something they created.
Yeah.
Something they created.
Yeah.
You know, and when I say they, not the Republicans, the Democrats.
Yeah, the Democrats created the Jim Crow.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm gonna finish this part, and then we're gonna get out of here.
It's not my issue that I'm fighting.
But you just said you're raising up politicians.
Again, that's for when the children, what they want to do. I'm not raising them directly just saying, oh, you gotta go be a politician. No, for the kids that want to go in that area, I have mentors for them to go into that area.
But shouldn't we be fighting voter suppression laws that make it harder for them to get elected?
Mr. Roland, if you can't go get, what's the problem with black folk going to get a voter ID?
No, the issue is not a voter ID.
Okay.
No, wait. Hold up. Stop. Hold up. You just said, what's the issue? If you live in rural Georgia, and you've seen the closures of driver's license offices, and you don't have transportation, then the question is, how are you then accessing it? In Texas, for instance, when Texas passed its voter ID law, they showed that 600 to 800,000 African Americans and Latinos were going to be negatively impacted by the voter ID law in Texas because of where they could go. In Texas, they said that you could not use your state-issued student ID at a state institution, but if you had a hunting license, you could. In Pennsylvania, when they passed their voter ID law, they required you to actually travel to an office to fill out a form to say you could not afford a license, an ID. You then have to go back home, and then once they've certified that, come back. There was some 20% of elderly who couldn't do it. There are black people in Georgia who do not have birth certificates who cannot get a voter ID. So that's just one issue with the voter ID. But in Georgia, Republicans, hold up. That's just one issue. In Georgia right now, Republicans want to make it a crime to hand out water and food if folks are waiting in line to vote. Does that make sense?
Okay, if they gonna do that, then how about before people go and vote, y'all go set up like you usually do and go hand it to them before they go get in line? It's a way around that.
Hold up, wait. You do realize.
Let's stop it for a second, though. Stop it for a second, okay?
He cooking him, R-Pain.
Yeah, I mean he's cooking, but it's fucking annoying to listen to it. I mean, because he's saying a couple of things. Roland Martin is, if there was like 500,000 people in Texas or 60,000, whatever, a community in Texas that their place to get licenses and shit is closed and they got to travel, wouldn't part of being an organizer be renting buses, getting people donating buses and putting out advertisement? We're going to have a voter ID drive and we're coming through your town 3 times a week, whatever.
You can't stop us. We're going to get what we need.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? This is what you need to bring with you. And this is our community service to get y'all to the place where you can get your licenses and shit. That's community organizing, not whining that somebody's taking something away from you. You know, I mean, I'm just, these guys, I'm glad we're seeing the downfall of these fucking guys. And I think people need to realize that they can't get back in power. If they get back in power, man, the country is effectively going to be over, because they're going to do all kinds of crazy shit, and then make it illegal for you to speak out, like England and shit like that.
Right.
So,
and so, R-Pain, I want you to, because you were you were a child, maybe. They're talking about the Jim Crow laws, right?
No.
So Denzel in the chat says this: are you guys this dumb, or you're on somebody paying you to be dumb niggas? Now, and then they went on to say, so you guys are not informed at all. So you don't know that Mississippi reinstated Jim Crow laws. What do you think about that, R-Pain?
I don't think about, idiots, right? I mean, like I said, Jim Crow laws were started by the Democrats. And, and so Jim Crow laws, some of those kind of things is, they'll call everything that Jim Crow law, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what he's talking about. Is Mississippi one of the last states where there's like blatant racism, overt racism? I don't know. But there's a lot of black people in Mississippi. And I'm not hearing them with their big outcry. I hear a lot of people from the North saying how fucked up Mississippi is, right? But, when's the last time you saw somebody from Mississippi say how fucked up it is to live down there? That's what I'd like to hear. I don't know what's going on in Mississippi, and I haven't checked.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, R-Pain, because we're gonna pull the facts up over here. Right. And so for dumbass people like this person who wants to say we're dumb, let's talk about their dumbass, because we're gonna pull this up right here. Let's see what it says. I want to put it, because what it is, R-Pain, is scare tactics.
Yes, it is.
It's fear mongering. Okay, so we're gonna pull it up for this dumb piece of shit that's in the chat talking shit, and we're gonna put it on the screen here, and we're gonna read it together. And if this person can read, I want you to read it together. We're gonna read it together. Here we go. Let me make sure it's okay where we can see it. I typed into ChatGPT, has Jim Crow laws been reinstated in Mississippi? Just the same thing that this person said, right? And it says Jim Crow laws were legal racial segregation laws that explicitly separated black and white people in schools, transportation, restaurants, voting, housing, public life. Those laws were dismantled through the Civil Rights Movement, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. What causes confusion is that critics sometimes use the phrase new Jim Crow or say Jim Crow is returning when discussing voting law changes, policing, criminal justice, state control and local governments, or educational policies. For example, in 2023, Mississippi faced controversy over a state law expanding separate court systems in part of Jackson, a majority black city. Critics argued it reduced black political control and compared it to Jim Crow era power structures. Supporters said it was about crime reduction and judicial efficiency. So, R-Pain, maybe I'm stupid. Did I just read anything that said that Jim Crow laws were reinstated?
Well, the first thing he didn't say is when you asked the question, the first thing it said was no.
No.
The first thing it said was no. But who's instituting Jim Crow laws though? Black people. We're the only ones who want to have separate things, separate black graduations. We want to have separate black this, separate black that. So we spent all this time trying to integrate ourselves into society, but how many things that black people are talking about? Well, we need a black graduation, or we need a black this or black that, where whites are not allowed, right? I mean, whites can't do that, but when we do that, isn't that a self-imposed Jim Crow?
Yeah, our pain. If you want to keep something from a nigga, put it in a book.
Yeah.
And when I see people in my goddamn chat saying, we dumb niggas, and then they put comments like this, you should rewind. Oh, no. There is no black representation in the South. Watch the news. If you're depending on news to give you the news and you're not reading for yourself, you are the representation of a dumb nigga. You are on the digital plantation as a dumb nigga if you depending on the news. Pick up a goddamn book and read it. You gonna get on my channel and tell me that Jim Crow coming back, and I just showed you that it ain't coming back. Now you want to do all this. Here go another comment. Is this country not declining right now? Is literally has no friends around the world. We'll no longer have allies. You done. How dumb are you? We don't have no allies, right? Okay, fine. If we don't have no allies, cool. We ain't tripping. What allies? What is going on in your household? Let me ask you this: Trump's been in office what 2 years now? Arpain, 2?
Almost. Not full 2 years. Not yet.
Okay, not a full 2 years. So let's go back 4 years.
I don't think so.
Dizal, whatever your name is, tell us what Kamala and Joe Biden did that changed your life financially in your home with your children and your family. Tell me now what they did for you. I'll wait.
Hey, the whole thing about no black representation and that most of our most prominent lawmakers are in the South, the black ones. Unfortunately, too much of them are fucking Democrats. It's so funny.
Who watches the news? Who wants to watch the news when the news is controlled by whatever they want the news to say?
Absolutely.
The news is controlled by what?
It's the hive mind, man. These guys, people have it, and it's unfortunate so many black people still have this whole notion that their savior comes in liberal white skin. And it doesn't, I mean, we're in dire straits in a lot of places, man. With crime and negligence, this whole thing that Brother X was talking about, the kids can't read and all that shit, those are real statistics.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to make that shit up. Those statistics are real. And then at the same time, we'll have a whole bunch of people talking about how educated they are, and they're the ones who have most of the kids, and the kids are failing. How can both of those fucking things be true at the same time?
I agree. You're the most educated, but your kids are the most dumbest.
So we're in a big quandary, and I think the thing that men can do to lead us out of this is stop listening to all the bullshit, and move on like this brother is doing, and because the path forward is not liberalism, it's conservatism. In terms of values and things of that nature. I mean, people say, how could you be a Democrat and be a Christian?
I agree.
Because,
our pain. I want to bring this precipice here. I asked Denzel that question 2 minutes ago. He ain't answered me yet. I asked him in the last 5 years, what did Kamala and Sleepy Joe do for him, his family, and how did he profit with money? How did he profit monetarily? How did he profit morally in the last 5 years? I have no answer. He's addressing other people in the chat. You know why? Because this is what needs to happen, Arpain. We need to start cooking these niggas when they think they know more than what we know, because we're readers and they are not. I love cooking these niggas. And if you want to come up here, the link is in the chat. As long as your camera on, your badass kids in the bedroom outside playing, and you want to come up here and have something to say, come up here and say what you have to say. This is a non-biased place. Hit the link, come up here and speak your mind. But I just cooked you like leg quarters on the 4th of July, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a great day.
You know, I mean, listen, man, you know.
It's crazy.
You know, even when I hear this, like, stop bitching and, you know, with Roland Martin, you know, come out here and do something. The solutions that we have to do is something that his party doesn't want us to do. And the first thing we need to do, like I've been saying, listen, before I met all you guys, I've been saying this shit like a broken record, that we need to separate ourselves from the Liberal Democrat Party. That's our first, man, everybody's looking at me like I was crazy. You know, and I'm not saying we need to be Republicans, but we got to look at the policies that these fucking people want to purvey in the country. And open borders in order for them to get new voters, but us to bring the third world in. I mean, it's just antithetical to what we fought for. Now, I guess you're a fundamentally Black American. You're a foundational Black American, right? Even if you don't call yourself that, right?
Right.
And even if you were in the turn of the 20th century, even if your parents came here from the Caribbean, no matter what island, you still went through Jim Crow and redlining and all that shit. So the point really is, as Black people, we have a stake in the United States being a successful country, right? Not just because we're Black, it's because we put the work in. We got receipts. We got 100 years of receipts, right? Of that whatever this country good has to offer, we should be able to, you know, eat off the tree of that particular fruit, right? If we earn it, right? So it doesn't make sense to me when I see liberal Black people championing fucking illegal aliens coming into your neighborhood, getting free healthcare, free school, free this, food stamp. How could you work so hard and you want the white man to pay you reparations, but turn around and just give it away to every other motherfucker from around the world? Just walking in free. That shit don't make no sense to me. It's like if you spent all your hard-earned blood and sweat to buy a home and just leave the front door open so anybody could come in and fucking squat. You know, so it just doesn't make any sense, right? You don't have to be a Republican to understand that you can't work for something and just give it away to somebody else. You know, somebody, what did they call it? Suicidal empathy. That's what somebody calls it. I think it's April Chapman. She calls it suicidal empathy.
Now, Arpain, I know you did a show on this, and I wanted to get your receipts. And you can speak to this more than I can at the moment. But I want you to respond to this right here. All right, this Denzel coming back again and says, "You ignorant fool! I have been reading. Okay, I'm gonna read it like I know he would read it. Okay, you ignorant fool! I have been reading, and that's why I could tell you there's literally no districts, and they walked the Black wall makers right out of the room in Tennessee. It was redistricting. They redistrict everything, and they just happened to be in the area. You said they targeted. So, Arpain, I'll let you talk on it.
Well,
what happened in Tennessee?
The funny thing is,
in gerrymandering.
Yeah, gerrymandering, right? The racial gerrymandering is just struck down, right? The other one is partisan, which is still legal. The funny thing when people use Tennessee in that one, I think 8th district or whatever, the man who's been in charge of, who's the legislator for that district, is a white man. Cohen. He's been there for 20 fucking years. He's not even Black. So he was a white man in the major Black district. Was a white man. He's been there for 20 years. You know, so he's the one who's losing the seat. Now here's the thing. That's the first part. So this guy didn't even know that. The other part is the people who the Black people can still vote. Now they have to vote based on who has the best policies. That person could actually still be white. Let me give you an example. Black. Let me give you an example. They redistrict in Florida, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz is running in the Black district as a Democrat. And 6 other Black people want to run for that, and they want her to bow out. So it's just Black people trying to run for that seat, right? and she won't do it. So they're calling her a turncoat. But the real way they should be looking at is that one of those guys said, I should be able to beat her. Right? If I'm running, I'm black, I should be, my policies and everything else should be able to beat her in that particular district. And if she wins the district, that blows this story out of the water. You know why? Because the black people in that district who have a chance just to vote for black people, they voted for her. If she wins that mostly black district, that means the black people thought she was the best candidate. And so that's what we need to look at. So you could reverse that. To think that it's impossible for a black person to win in the redistricting is bullshit. They should run. If you could run, you get on a ballot. Now you have a chance to show why you should be, the representative as opposed to the white man and this and that. Well, Jasmine Crockett tried to run for Senate, right?
Bam.
Yeah, but she tried to run for Senate because her district went away, but she could have still ran for the new district. But she didn't want to do that because she had to compete against a white man, whatever. So she runs for senator. She didn't lose because of redistricting or anything else. The white people didn't vote for her because what she was stood for, they weren't buying. They never did. And she lost to a knucklehead. That guy Tarico, whatever his name is, the guy he's worse than Jasmine Crockett, by the way.
Yep. And you know what? I'm gonna say this too, because I'm in the business of responding in the most educational way, because I want to, Arpain, inform people of the truth, and people who are ignorant, I want to show them that they're ignorant so they can learn better, right? Dizal again said, I love this. If you could come up, that'd be great. We could have the discussion in person, but I probably know you're not going to come up because nobody wants to get cooked on live with their face showing. So stay in the chat. I appreciate you. Okay. She said, and people are going to Mexico to get medical treatment done because they can't afford it here in America. Okay. Now, our pain, we're going to stay right there. Medical treatments in United States, in Mexico are cheaper, right? I want to pull this up on the screen. Let's read this. Medical and dental treatments in Mexico have been noticeably cheaper than in the United States for several decades. But the trend really accelerated starting in the 1980s and 90s as medical tourism grew. Why treatments became popular in Mexico? Lower labor costs, lower malpractice insurance costs, lower administrative overhead, lower pharmaceutical costs in many cases, and less expensive overall healthcare. Wait a minute. Hold on. Who was the president in 1990, Arpain? Do you remember?
Was that I can't remember. With Clinton?
Clinton. Oh God. And what was Clinton? Was he a Republican or a Democrat?
Okay, Democrat, sure.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so then we want to talk about this. They talk about gas prices, and the gas price so high, Trump got everybody got $4.20 worth of gas. Gas is at $4.20. I can't handle it. Okay, let's scroll back up here. What does this say? What was the gas prices at the worst when Biden was president? You see, I asked that question. Let's see what ChatGPT had to say. The highest national average gas price during Joe Biden's presidency was $5.01. Get the fuck out of here. It was the same shit when he was in office, and you niggas all of a sudden now have something to say. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here.
Here's the difference, though. And this is the one thing, because I play the market.
Start reading, niggas.
And one of the things that people don't realize, we know exactly why the gas prices are going up because of the war in Iran. And it stands to reason that if that ever gets fixed, and now when the bombs are not dropping anymore, now it's at the negotiating table. Let's just say by some miracle, them fucking guys actually comply. The gas prices will come right back down. Once the oil starts flowing as free as it did through the straits, And so we know the cause of the perturbation in the market. And once you know the cause, it's a temporary kind of setback. But here's the thing, right? And I agree with Trump on this one, even if you don't like him. The one thing he made sense, would you rather have a few months of high gas prices and ensure that Iran doesn't have a nuclear bomb? You know, you have a choice. I mean, the freedoms that we enjoy in this country comes at a price. And sometimes the price is so steep that individual people and citizens should feel that we should all share in that pain if it's going in the right direction. You know, I didn't want him to go to war, but now I understand. Now, once we're there, we gotta win. You know, we gotta win. You know, so if the Democrats get back in, we'll be right back at square one. They'll take all that shit down. Motherfuckers will rebuild their fucking infrastructure and start on building that bomb again. You know, so
people are paying. I'm scared. There's somebody in the chat that says that we ignorant and we couldn't handle them in a debate, and I'm scared. R-Pain, I don't know what to do. So I sent the link in the chat.
What they want to debate about. I mean, you know,
the link in the chat. Bring your ass up here. Let's go.
I mean, we don't have to debate anything. I mean, the degradation of the black community is right in front of us. I mean, the receipts are all over the place. In 1964, the civil rights movement, 75% of our kids were born within wedlock. Today, under the Democratic rule or whatever, in 60 years of Democratic rule, only 25% of our kids are born in wedlock.
And you know what? Oh, R-Pain, I'm so glad. R-Pain, I just had oh my God, I feel the spirit coming over me. This nigga just said in the chat, okay, very feminine looking. He said, as Leslie Watson, okay, Lisa Watts, whatever. He said, y'all not talking about Iran, laugh my ass off. I thought y'all niggas was America first, laugh out loud. Bro, it's just hardcore MAGA narratives right now. MLK will be disappointed in you, bro. You know what? I'm gonna say this about this. I'm gonna say this to you. Unless Martin Luther King wasn't shit either. He was a Marxist. He was a part of a movement that killed 22 million children. See, I'm tired of niggas that don't read. He was a nigga that cheated on his wife. He was a man that was out in these streets real bad. He was a man that was using donation money to buy prostitutes. I ain't trying to hear it. The FBI got tapes of him, women moaning and him having sex with women. He ain't no different. He was an early version of Diddy. And we want to sit up here and have this conversation about how great Martin Luther King was. He was not. Martin Luther King he was a Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. You might as well say he like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Because Dr. Martin Luther King, although he could prove himself being a doctor of having a PhD, he didn't even believe in Jesus or the resurrection of him. He didn't believe in the Immaculate Conception with Mary. It is documented. It's in his letters that he wrote. I need dumb niggas to start reading. I need the dumb niggas to start reading.
You know, one of the things that is crazy is that that whole sign language shit when you don't have an argument. You know, just because I don't tout the bullshit that the liberals talk about, that doesn't make you MAGA. You know,
I can't read that. I can't read it. Read it.
What's that? Not cheating. He was what, taking women to the mountaintop. He was taking women to the mountaintop. Hey, what kind of script do you have there? It's kind of my screen is like really scrunchy.
Oh my bad. I don't know.
That's all right. You have to change it anyway. Thank you for the super chat, $5. Yeah, he wasn't cheating. He was taking them to the mountaintop, giving them a sermon up there. You know, the sermon on the mount, whatever that shit is. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up. I like that though. Hey, we got another super chat. Hold on, let me get the super chat out here. Let's see who we got. Jason Beatrice 7362. Thank you, man, for the $5 super chat. He said Democrats refuse to sign the Republican bill to end insider trading in Congress.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a big one. I mean, these guys, it's just all full of shit, man. They're all full of shit, to tell you the truth. That's why I like what the brother was saying. I forgot his name. Was it Brother X? What did he call himself? King X or something like that.
Cornell.
I
think it's Cornell X. Yeah, he's finna beat up somebody at the house the other day.
What?
Yeah, he told a white man he was gonna punch him in his face and make him taste the ancestors. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm the same way. I don't either way. Either one of them can get it. But I just don't like the overwhelming, and our pain would agree with this too. Black people are so down, no matter what the Democrats do, you niggas are gonna hit the button for them every time, no matter.
Right.
If you don't see change, you still gonna do it. Why? Can anybody explain to me why black people just gonna stay Democrat and they don't ask no questions?
It's crazy. Like I said, a lot of time when I do my political things, I say to everybody else, just like every other black person, I was born into the Democratic Party. It's like if you were a Catholic, right? You're like you're born a Catholic. They baptize you as a baby. It's never your choice. And a lot of other sects like Baptists, they want you to have some level of discernment before you come to get baptized.
Right.
So I'm just saying, the Democrats, your parents were a Democrat, your grandparents are Democrat, and the truth of it, man, a lot of people who don't know the history, we used to vote almost 100% Republican up until FDR. When the New Deal, and he started to try to get us out of the New Deal, and he has some programs that, of course, the country was hemorrhaging during the Great Depression, and if white people were hemorrhaging, we were already bled out.
Right.
But in some way, shape, form, or fashion, blacks have been down bad so bad. Those hard times don't seem to hurt us as much as anybody else because we already there. Right? We're scrambling. So blacks started to vote Democrat. It still was almost 50-50 for the most of his 2 terms. And then it started to switch, and it didn't switch over completely until the 60s. So a lot of people don't realize that we used to vote Republican all the time, man. Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican, I believe. And I don't believe he started the war because of us. He started the war to keep the Union together, and the consequence of that was to end slavery.
Wait a minute. I'm learning something new every day. So it says here, I'm gonna put up on the screen because I got the niggas got to see. It says here, I said was Martin Luther King a Republican? They said no. As a Republican politician or Republican activist, King did not strongly publicly identify with either party. Right. So we don't know what he was. He focused his primary, poverty, nonviolence. Early in his life, King had some positive interactions with Republicans, because the Republican Party historically had roots in abolition and Reconstruction. He also criticized both parties at different times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh no, Martin King working with the Republicans? I can't believe it. Thank you, More. Thank you. Let's see who said that. Mortor One, thank you so much for that information. Thank you so much calling him out because he put this in there.
But that goes hand in hand with what I was saying, that black people voted a lot up until recently, 60 years ago. It wasn't unusual for black people to vote Republican. And I keep going back to that. Civil rights bill would have never been signed unless a Republican got it through the Senate. They had the longest filibuster in history was by the Democrats trying to keep the civil rights bill from going to LBJ's death. And nobody talks about that, like the Roland Martins and all those kind of guys, man. That's just on record. So, and the only thing I can't find is the quote that LBJ said, "I'm gonna have these niggas eating out of my hands, the Democrats, for the next 200 years." I just think that's an urban legend, but he probably was
even so, it's facts.
It's facts. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's the urban. It's like it's like
they will not. Dude, it could be anybody running for the Democratic Party. You got to know all black people gonna vote for you.
Right. Well, a little less now. We know that 92% of the black women will, and a little bit less with the black men. And hopefully, as each election comes, less and less is happening.
I'm so proud. I just want to say this before we get out of here. I am so proud of black men starting to stand up, stand on business, and they're not worried about what everybody else have to say. Exactly. I'm proud of you, black men. I'm proud of you. Exactly. Don't let your wife deter you. Don't let the school teachers deter you. Don't let the women at your job deter you. Don't let these independent women tell you how to be a man. You were created to be a leader. God gave you the ability. He gave you the mind to build, the strength to be a leader in your community, in this world, in your house, at your job. Be the leader that you were created to be, black man. Please do. Also, Arpain, got a show coming up on Monday. Arpain, can you tell them what your show is going to be about on this network on Monday, guys, if you want to come back? We got hold on just a second. I got Josh in here.
Okay. What's up?
But go ahead, Arpain.
Yeah, show on Monday at 7:00 is titled, But That's Not Why I Married You. And it's really a narrative on what women have when they start giving you their accolades and how much they accomplished and stuff. I got a whole kind of litany of things. A man will tell a woman with a PhD in a highfalutin business, or the Ebony K. Williams type women, they realize they have an issue with men not worshiping the accomplishments they have. Right? I mean, I could be proud of you, but if I want you to be my wife, I'm not marrying you because you've done all of those things. Right? Most men don't say, I'm looking at your resume before I marry you. They want to know what kind of wife you're going to be. So I'm going to expand on that particular thing. So I have a few clips I'm going to put in and stuff like that. Okay. Because I've said it before that if you're married as a man, if you marry a woman on her terms, then you're lost. A woman has to marry you and agree to the terms that you say. Yeah. It's as simple as that. If she don't agree, she can say no, but you got to marry a woman on your own terms or you're lost. You are lost. So Josh, thank you for being here, man. Josh, so what are your thoughts on what you've heard? I know you've been probably watching. What are your thoughts?
I actually have more questions than actual thoughts.
Ask your questions. Me and Arpain can answer them for you.
Well, I don't think so, because you'd have to be Democrat to be able to answer these questions. I guess it boils down is I think the conversation is being taken place in the wrong way. If you start the conversation based off of Democrats versus Republicans, you kind of really don't understand each other. We're all Republicans on the panel, so I get that, right? Us having a conversation is just a mirror. However, I think a good start would be just asking Black Democrats, what the hell do they want? When they're voting, right? Like when they're talking about elections and stuff, asking them just straight up, what is it that you want? It seems like a really good start. And I'm willing to bet that if that line of questioning took place, you might be able to win people over. Because generally, I think most people want to be kind of left alone by the government. I think people generally want a better lifestyle, which is generally like better economy, in which case then you get into discussions about spending and things like that, taxation, stuff like that. But if it's the case that people are wanting, well, just give me free stuff and you'll get my vote, that'll tell you everything you need to know about people. So what it is my question would start with that first question is, what do you want? As a Democrat voter, what do you want?
Yeah, but no, it's not. It only sounds like a good question. Black people have been whining about what they want to the Democrats for over 60 years.
Did they get it?
It always gets pushed back on the back burner. I mean, let's just give you an example of reparations, which I'm not a big advocate of, but that's one thing. Or anti-lynching bill is another. Voting rights, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act was one of the things that he took to his grave. And there was like 6 opportunities for the Democrats to move legislations for Black people when they had the House, the Senate, the presidency, and probably a more lenient Supreme Court. And they did absolutely effing nothing for Black people. They put their wants on the back burner. They just show up in the Black community when it's time to vote. And then they disappear again. Well, you asked me. And in 1971, they created the Congressional Black Caucus that has done absolutely nothing for black people legislatively. And here's another thing, and I'm going to end with this. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm a registered Democrat. I never changed, but I'm more of an independent thinker now after I voted for Hillary Clinton. But let me finish here. I just think that, I had a good one too. I lost the train of thought. I just think that we need to kind of re-examine that there's something fundamentally wrong with one ethnic group like black people voting exclusively for one party. There's a psychosis there that we need to bring. And I don't care where you go. I think we should be independent thinkers and vote on policy. And once we start doing that, here's how I was going to go here. I'm going to end it here. Black people have to realize that we are Americans, right? Everything doesn't have to do with the color of our skin. That we keep, if we don't get something that's just for black people, like we're being left out. What's good for America, right? Good policy for America is good for black people as well as everybody else. And we need to start thinking more like that than this old woe is me bullshit that they keep pushing on us from the liberal side. And that's well, let me just land it there. And a lot of people want free stuff, not just black folks, but that's why Mondani is the mayor of New York, because he promised free stuff to a whole bunch of assholes, and they voted for him, and he's going to destroy that city.
Well, no, he got voted in because that's the result from a younger voter base.
Yeah, and they believe that they should get free shit because they've been trained that way.
But that's why people want stuff, right? And I can't say it outright because if you remember a couple years back, was that Asian guy that promised everybody $100, something like that for a vote?
Yeah, I do know what you talk about.
And nobody even took him remotely close to being serious.
They said that's just going to come around with AI. They're going to implement that.
Let's start with this. Reparations. What would that look like?
That's the problem, because you can't really define, well, now that we've moved so far from the violation, it's hard to make it. Let me put it to it. Most people think it's a check, right? But a lot of people don't realize affirmative action, when it first came out, that was a reparation. It's just that kind of policy is not meant to last because there was holes in it, right? And that's why it broke down, and white women usurped affirmative action, and then the Chinese took it to court and got it pretty much thrown out, right? Because they couldn't get into the top flute
with the 15% of U.S. population, would they be willing to take DNA testing to actually track which ones came from, I guess, inherent slavery?
Listen, I'm not a big advocate for reparations. I did a couple of things here once in a while. I mean, your lineage is kind of straightforward. Some of us are foundational black roots that we could trace back into the South. A lot of people can do that, at least. Those records are still there. But you know what? In California, they've had legislation on the books that didn't pass for reparations all the way in California. And they wanted to give it to people who were slighted from Jim Crow. They weren't slaves. Jim Crow was just as oppressive on black folks. But it was all bullshit. It was a pacifier. They gave him $500,000 to write this fucking report and go in the corner and leave me alone, and then come back when it was time to vote on it. The legislators in California voted it down. They wouldn't even put it on the ballot. They wouldn't talk about it.
Now, hold on. Now I'm going to say this, because me and Arpain have always had this back and forth about reparations. Listen, I don't fucking agree with that. I think give us my fucking money. Because let me tell you what it is. If you look at some of the richest families in America who are of white descent, they have, let's start with the Indians. Indians have their reparations. They have their own way of living. They have their casinos. They have all this, right? The Jewish people have their reparations, right? Because of everything that they went through. But I don't see no reparation for black people. And black people have done the history of black people have done $1 trillion worth of free labor in this country.
No, more than that.
And more, and have not paid nothing. And I believe that generational wealth is important. And if you have, imagine if we were to be, if as a black culture were paid what we were owed, our grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents were paid what they were owed, how much and where would black people be now financially if that money and that stuff was passed down from generation to generation? Just like, I'll give you an example. New York Life Insurance got its start by insuring slaves. New York Life Insurance has been passed down from generation to generation. And now the board of great-great-great-grandkids who are on the board of New York Life Insurance are multi-millionaires and billionaires based on the fact that their great-great-great-grandfather were financing slaves and paying insurance policies on slaves who were mutilated by their owners. And they get to live in the nice homes in Beverly Hills, in the mountains, Colorado, and they get to travel the world off of blood money. So I believe that if they can live off of what their great-great-grandfather did to black people, then black people should be able to live off the work that their great-great-great-grandfather and grandmothers did as well.
So basically you want some farmers effectively that have if they were like free at the time, that have whatever wages that a farmer would have gotten at that time period.
No, I want you to take what the $1 trillion of free labor, and I want you to divide it amongst everybody who qualifies and pay everybody what they're owed, because you owe the 40 acres and a mule ain't been paid yet either. So you owe that, and you owe the motherfucker, you owe us as a people the money. You owe it. And so now,
well, let's start with 40 acres and a mule. That was General Patton, and that would have only applied for the specific, a very specific region of the United States.
How much? Let me ask you a question, Josh. I'm sorry.
Sure.
How much land do you think black people owned after slavery?
Back then?
Yeah,
after slavery? Like immediately after?
Yeah.
Like the first 10 years?
Yeah.
Whatever was owned in the North. Damn sure there wasn't anything in the South.
Are you sure? I'm about to put it up on the screen.
Well, so there were a couple known families that owned slaves and owned land in the South, but their residency, their voter registration, was actually in the North, because we didn't get nobody got the right to vote until 1918, and back then that's what you went by was voter registration, because you could only vote if you owned land.
Okay, now I want to put this up on the screen because I want us to read this together. I put in ChatGPT how much land did black people own during slavery, post-slavery. This is what it says. Yes, black Americans once owned a very significant amount of land, especially agricultural land, though far less than white Americans overall. The peak is usually estimated around the 1900s. By 1910, black Americans owned roughly 15 to 20 million acres of land in the United States. Most of it was farmland in southern states. Black farmers were especially prominent in places like Mississippi, Alabama, the South, Georgia, South Carolina, and Texas. This growth happened largely after the end of slavery, Reconstruction, the black farming expansion, despite the rise of Jim Crow laws. But the black land ownership declined dramatically during the 20th century. Researchers point to several causes: discriminatory lending, violence and intimidation, heirs, property problems, tax foreclosures, migration to cities, unequal USDA support, and economic hardship. Give us our motherfucking check.
Well, no, they would have lost it. So the Harris property problem was the same reason why the Harris property problem existed immediately following the Civil War. So Civil War ended up with like a drastic population reduction, right? So now you had all of these people that possibly owned land, right? But they died. So that land, the government doesn't own land, it has to go to somebody. There was the ability to purchase land at a pretty reduced price. However, the concept of owning agricultural land requires labor. So you're going to basically buy land. Let's just hypothetically say it was probably 50 or 60%, whatever the market value was at that time period. Then you went in and farmed, right? but it's post-slavery, so you have to now, even if you're a black owner, you have to invest in whatever that was going on, except for the cotton gin really just destroyed the cotton industry. I think what else was left? The sugarcane industry and things like that. But that required heavy labor. Who was going to do it? White man wasn't.
Yeah, but where are we going with this shit, though, man? We're here now, man.
I understand the here now. However,
let me just say this. I agree with.
If my grandfather owned 1 million acres of land, and the government came in and said, "This is eminent domain. We taking this shit, flooding it out, making it a lake, and we took it from you, give you no money for it, and then your family go up broke, and then you tell us pull yourself up out of bootstrap."
I'm not arguing against you because you're correct. The wrongs that they've done against us, they can't make right. They're not going to make it right. I think it's just a false thing that Black Americans just hang on to. That's just not coming. It's like praying for the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm willing to bet that 15% of Americans aren't inherent to slavery.
The fucking thing is not coming. It's not coming. I mean, the Democrats had the opportunity to give us reparations 6 times since 1960. And every time it doesn't even get on the fucking docket for them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's never actually been discussed, to be fair, either.
Well, that's bullshit, man. It's been discussed. That's not true.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if I were to ask, hold on. If I was to ask, what is reparations? Like, what would it look like? You ultimately dismissed it and just said it would be like a DEI program, right? Do other black people?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. There's been studies done on reparations. There's been, I don't know how many. I know there's been studies on reparations. They want to give us another one. The truth of the matter is, we understand that that's why they created this foundational Black Americans, because they wanted to pinpoint the Americans who would be directly impacted by slavery. And ADOS is the American descendants of slaves. And that causes its own problem also within the Black community and who's eligible for this. But there's been studies and studies and studies, and I'm just telling you, it never gets to the point where it's being seriously considered on a check. People want fucking money. You keep saying the form. People want money.
But it also doesn't address the question.
What question?
It just dismisses it.
What question? What question are you talking about? We know who.
I'll ask it again. What would reparations?
People want money. It's a check. People want to do calculate. We got calculators. We got fucking people who could identify how much.
How much money?
Wait a minute. You asked a question. Let me ask you. We know.
So I'll ask it again. If it's all just going to.
You're not listening because you want to talk. I'm saying we've already had studies on this, and the format would be.
Who's talking?
People
freeze,
want money.
Freeze, Mr. Payne. Freeze. Who's talking right now? Who's been talking for the last 5 minutes?
Well, you keep
Mr. Payne, watch you accused of stuff that you're doing. I asked one question,
and you wouldn't let me finish answering.
Do you need to write a book on reparations? Do you need to write a book as a descriptor?
I actually done some study on reparations. Yes, I did a show right.
So the answer is a book. So give me 5 points out of this book. What would reparations look like? Give me 5 points.
Hold on for a second.
Who you asking, me or him?
No, Mr. Payne.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I did a show.
BMU actually said that it hasn't been discussed because he's actually giving out a discussion.
But you're wrong. I mean, I'm telling you, you're wrong. There's been reports on what reparations.
I'm wrong for asking a question?
Well, no, you're wrong with your assertion that it hasn't been looked at.
No, sir. You want to know why I say that it hasn't been discussed? It's because nobody agrees on it.
That doesn't mean it hasn't been discussed. It means people talk about it.
Sure it does. Sure it does. Because I'm asking two black men on panel. I'm asking two black men on a panel, and they're both giving different answers. So y'all don't agree. I'm going to assume that if there's 50 people in
Us
chat,
being-
they don't agree either.
Yeah, no, being out of agreement doesn't mean it hasn't been discussed.
Okay, let me
It
give you. I'll give you
implies
five.
that they don't have the same-
I got it. He said you need to know what it looks like. What it would look like.
Yeah. What it would look like. What would reparations look like?
Direct cash payments, land and housing restoration, debt relief, education investment, business capital, health repair, criminal justice repair, official apology, and a truth that hey, we did this to you guys. We owe you. That's 8. Do you need 10?
No. That's good. That's good. See, that's real simple. See how I ask a question and you get like a list? That's decent enough. That would be a discussion. See how simple that was, Mr. Payne?
And those things have been discussed. They're just being ignored.
Yeah, because if I'm president, I'm saying, hey, listen. Let me say this first. If I'm president, listen, this is what's going to happen. Okay? Hey, all black people who have gone to school, who have graduated college and living successful lives and paying this $200,000 debt back, debt erased. No more student loans.
Yeah, one of my things, I said, give us a tax break for 5 generations. 5 generations of tax break where we don't pay any federal tax. To me, that would be a reparation that people will understand, because people try to hide from taxes all the time. So give us the form, the form that says that if you're black, no matter how much money you make, you don't have to pay federal tax for 20 years.
If such granting was given, would you give back would they give back their citizenship?
Well, give back
anybody that got reparations, would they give back their citazenship?
No. How the hell we gonna give back citizenship when we built this son of a bitch?
No, but why don't we give up citizenship?
But that's the thing. They were property when they came in.
Yeah,
we already took care of that.
Okay. Therefore, they would have been outside of citizenship, right? Because they would not have been U.S. citizens.
Okay, go ahead. Continue. I want you to finish.
So the moment that they're given reparations, let's say cut them a check, whatever the price is, right? Whatever the number is, right? Would they be willing to give up their citizenship?
No,
Why?
Why? Bullshit assertion.
Well, because
we didn't have the Japanese to give up their citizenship.
Hold on, Arpain. So you're telling me? I just want to build a picture here. I want to build a picture. So you're telling me, in the middle of the night, I come to you. I take you from a country, put you on a boat, starve you damn near to death, bring you here, beat your ass, rape your wife, sell your daughter, sell your kids, beat you into submission, make you pick cotton in a field that made trillions of dollars worth of money for white generational wealth. And then I brought you in and beat you because you didn't do enough cotton, made you cut down sugarcane, which was also a very high number in millions of dollars made. And then I help you build my houses, build my monuments, build all this stuff. And then I'm going to pay you after I wronged you. And now I want to take your citizenship for a country that you helped build. And without you, wasn't going to be shit. Oh, you got to stop this. You got to stop.
He's trolling now.
Hold up. Name another country that does not import labor and grant, or that does import labor and grant citizenship. I'll give an example. UAE. The population of UAE is roughly about 11% of their own country. 11% are UAE citizens, right? The rest of them are all either Filipino or Indians, right? They import labor for construction, aka they built the country. They don't grant them citizenship.
They pay them. They pay them.
They pay them, because we're not talking about slavery there, right? And that is if the case.
That's why it's a false equivalency, man.
Right, but no. That's the point. The moment that the labor is paid for, the citizenship should be revoked.
No, that's bullshit.
I
know you have a twisted logic like that, but it's twisted.
Why is it twisted? Why is it twisted?
When they put the Japanese in internment camps, they gave them reparations, by the way, and they didn't take away their citizenship. right? So
that's because they were. Hold up. The Japanese that were locked up were citizens prior to their incarceration. That's why they were paid, is because we incarcerated U.S. citizens.
The 13th Amendment made black slaves, right? Made them citizens.
Correct. In lieu of payment. Correct. In lieu of payment.
No, you're wrong. I hear what you're trying to say, and it's a twisted logic. But
it is, because it sounds like the idea of reparations is to get more.
Hold on now. The 13th Amendment, when was the 13th Amendment passed? 1860 something. So the point really is, now that you're a black,
I have no idea.
Citizen, I think it's 1865, something like that. So somewhere in there,
yeah.
The point really is that now we're citizens. You're saying that citizens, you shouldn't be able to have reparations. And then in the same voice,
no.
Wait a minute.
You can't have both.
You said, wait a minute. In the same voice,
that's not my claim.
In the same voice,
that's not my claim.
You said Japanese were citizens, and when they got reparations, they were already citizens.
They were given reparations because they were
citizens before. We're citizens, and we can still owe reparations.
We're the black slaves. Were the black slaves, when they got off the boat, were they citizens?
Well, they didn't have any rights.
No, they weren't citizens. They were trafficked. They were trafficked.
Okay, correct.
They were trafficked.
When the Japanese that were in the United States, were they citizens when they were locked up?
Yeah.
That's the difference. You want the reparations. You want the payment in lieu of the citizenship.
We didn't ask to fucking be here. We didn't ask to come here. We was told, nigga, get on my
right. So if the legacies did not ask to be there, why don't they leave?
Why should we if we built this motherfucker? I'm not. Listen, let me tell you something.
So you got the citizenship.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's bullshit.
Hold on. Because Arpain, let me tell you something, Arpain. If that's the fact, okay, let's take it. No citizenship. Take our citizenship from us, but we want to take everything else with us too. So we're going to take all our artists, we're going to take all of our athletes, we're going to take everything. And this country will die. It will die without black people. It will die without the number one running back. It will die without the number one basketball player. It will die without golf. It will die without everything that we touch turned to gold for you motherfuckers. And y'all make billions off of us. And if we leave, you have nothing. You have nothing.
I will agree. I will agree. We'll give up the NFL, the NBA, and music industry.
Inventions. Listen, we're going to take the red light back. We're going to take the refrigerator. We're going to take blood transfusions. We're going to take hair products. We're going to take every fucking thing y'all enjoy. We want it back.
Yeah, we'll give it up.
Yeah, and guess what we have left? Nothing. Matter of fact, we want the coil out of the motherfucking light bulb.
That's kind of not entirely true.
We want all of it.
That's not entirely. It's not entirely true, because we had
Wi-Fi. We want Wi-Fi. Give us our fucking Wi-Fi. A black woman invented Wi-Fi. Take the Wi-Fi. We want it back. We want it. We want it all.
We've done it twice. We had the Roman Empire and now the American Empire. We've done it twice.
We want all our inventions. We want everything. Everything back.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Is this going to be just all black people, or is it just going to be the ones that were directly inherent to slavery?
Oh no, we taking everybody. Even if they wasn't, we're going to use the money to get them out of here too. We want it back.
Oh, okay. Well, so basically it would be whatever percentage that were like slaves that could be tied to slavery or whatever, and they're going to get together and take everybody with dark skin and leave.
Yeah, everybody.
That's the agreement.
Everybody.
We'll agree. We'll agree to that.
We taking the Indians, the Mexicans, all of them are lukewarm niggas. We taking them too.
We technically kind of agree to the Mexicans.
Yeah,
the Indians won't. The Indians won't go.
Yeah, look, I got a list of things we want back. We want the traffic signal back. We want the gas mask back. Let you motherfuckers die.
Right.
We want George.
We already agree. We already have an agreement. When are y'all paying? When are y'all packing your bag?
We want peanuts back. We want the light. We want the light bulb back. We want the goddamn railroad tracks back. We want the damn. I'm going down here.
The railroad tracks were predominantly Chinese.
Absolute bullshit. Elijah McCoy created the. I'm looking at it right now. Elijah McCoy, Google it. He created
the railroad system was predominantly Chinese.
He created the system for the steam engines and machinery that helped improve the railroad industry efficiently. We want the water gun back. We want the water gun back. We want the water gun back.
Yeah.
We want some of those things back. We want
some of those things. Back. Some of those things some of those things that we'll tend to agree with as relinquishing.
I want to add something else. Okay, all your food gonna fucking spoil because a black man invented the mobile refrigeration trucks. So we want all that shit back too. So let your fucking food spoil. If y'all want food, put it in the trunk of your goddamn car. We want it.
When are black people going to get out? And how much money is this going to take?
I tell you when we're gonna get out. When we all go to I think we should go to war for the country. All the white people on one side, all the black Mexicans. Black Mexicans, Africans, Arabs, all the brown skinned people on the left side. We see how that work out.
What makes you think they're going to join you?
Oh, come on now. It'll be very convincing. Everybody that hurts you, everybody look. It's gonna be a few. Everybody that hurts you, harms you, and oppressed you is on the other side of that line over there. You can have this entire country back. All you got to do is slay every one of them. It's very convincing.
Hey, I doubt that because you can't even convince them. Well, you can't even convince them to vote for your.
Hold on. And when you motherfuckers' hearts get fucked up and your heart fucked up, we're not doing any more heart surgeries because you can't use anything we invented. The first heart surgery was done by a black man, so you can't use those techniques to fix a heart. So let your heart fall out.
Those techniques are now dated. Yeah, but to be fair, right?
Die.
So the difference would be one, if you think that the brown people agree with you, why don't they vote Democrat like at some crazy 90% rate with the black people?
Oh shit!
I'm not. Nah.
Trigger, what's up, my boy?
What's up, Trigger Mike?
What's up?
So man? Trigger Mike, Trigger Mike, what are your thoughts, man? I know you probably been listening. What are your thoughts? Hop right in, bro.
Dang, y'all are here beating each other's ass, man.
Well, hold up, wait, Trigger Mike. No, I'm not getting beat up. I got my land back. You, sir, however, have to get out because he's taking you out with him.
So that I actually wanted to address that point. I wanted to address.
Go ahead, Trigger.
So y'all know y'all.
I'm listening. I'm going.
That was just a what you call it. That was a melee. At what point, everybody forgot what they were fighting for in the midst of the fight, right? But one thing
No. We were fighting for reparations. And we came to an agreement.
No, we didn't. Go ahead. Let them finish, Josh.
Enlighten me. What was the agreement, Josh?
Josh wants us to give up citizenship if we get reparations.
Josh, you know that's silly. The reason I say that is,
I know they won't agree to it,
but it's not necessary and it's disingenuous. Yeah. So I think this is the baseline thing. Like, my parents are Nigerian, right, Josh? So when people ask me about reparations for Black Americans, to me, it's a no-brainer. And the reason that it can't have all of those stipulations is because they set the precedent already. Most of the things that we do in law is based on precedent, legal precedent and social precedent. They've already set the precedent. And I personally believe, this is just my opinion, the only reason they don't do it and they are so averse to doing it in modern times is because when you do the calculations on it, they're going to be paying it forever. Probably 10 generations down the line.
Oh no, it was already offered. It was offered. That's how Liberia was formed.
You said offered to who?
Offered to supposedly former slaves. I think it was actually offered to as many black people as they could.
Slavery in Liberia was set up. That's why that flag is like an American flag, pretty much.
And I remember a part of it being that. So to me, even I've read some stuff or was educated on the fact that Abraham Lincoln's entire mantra was let them free so they can go back home, not just let them free to stay here. So I think that gives credence to what you're saying, where they always expected Africans to go back to, or I'm sorry, enslaved people, the victims of the transatlantic slave trade and their descendants, let them go back home. But the reason I say the lack of citizenship is disingenuous is because you let slavery carry on for generations to where those people, I'm sorry, the children of those descendants and their descendants, this is the only land they know. So that's why I'm like, you cannot revoke citizenship from people who have no tie to the homeland, the ethnic homeland that they are originally from. And the reason why I said disingenuous,
why can't we?
Is because the descendants of the true victims no longer do not have any ties to their original homeland. In fact, the one thing that we can say, Josh, if we were going to prove that, is that they do not speak the language of the people where they came from. Like that, that's sure. almost sure. Putting them back into servitude somewhere else, right? So,
but then that runs down the problem. Then is they're accepting citizenship in lieu of payment, aka no reparations.
No.
So the precedent has already been set, Josh. That's what I'm saying. No. So what did they do? What did NATO do? Or somebody did it where the World Council, where they try to get people to say that slavery was wrong and the U.S. said no. They did that strategically because that was, in my opinion, that was going to be a back channel for them to demand reparations. If you say slavery wrong, then you're going to have to compensate somebody at some point, right? So I like, people were upset that the U.S. said no. I said the U.S. always going to say no. They always going to say no because they don't want to compensate.
I wouldn't.
It would
I'm nobody, and I would.
But
hold on. No. I wouldn't let that one go. I'm not even in charge of anything, and I wouldn't say that slavery is wrong.
Well, listen, Trigger Mike, let me just say this.
Matter of fact, there are more slaves.
Hold on for a second, man.
There are more slaves today.
Hold on, Josh. Let me
hold on for a second, brother.
Go ahead, RP.
Listen. First of all, when the 13th Amendment free slaves, and I think the 14th gave us citizenship, one of those things, right? No, the condition wasn't that we give up our citizenship for reparations. That wasn't part of the amendment.
That absolutely was part of it. That was what Liberia was about. That's actually what Liberia was about.
Stop it, because Liberia was something that was done with Marcus Garvey and them. And by the way, they didn't let a lot of people go back to Liberia. They sabotaged that whole movement when some people wanted to go there. I don't know all the details, but
some
did. There was a certain amount of people who wanted to go back, and it got sabotaged because I think some people did the economic analysis that if they lose that cheap labor
right. So they ultimately realized that if they would have gone back, they economically wouldn't get an advantage.
With the 14th or 13th Amendment. Right, what's the 14th?
Except for the main industry for Liberia is actually flagging U.S. ships.
Yeah, but let's not mix apples and oranges, though.
Huge industry.
So, Josh, one thing I will say though is that you're making one case. So remember, my parents, my own parents, the people that gave birth to me, right? They don't have a direct tie to this land. But yet, as somebody who grew up here, was born here, and grew up here as a first-generation person,
that you're going to have to settle. That part, I understand what you're going to have to settle with BMU because he's the one that says he wants the reparations, and he's including you.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying in one generation, I learned enough about this country's history to say that Black American people deserve reparations. And you're making one point that ignores the other years of history behind why they are deserving of reparations. So the precedent, I was going to say, the precedent. So Payne said that it is not implied that you give up your right or your claim to reparations in those amendments. That's one argument that y'all can debate. But the other argument I have seen, and even that they currently, debated in California and all that, is that you have a detailed record of atrocities by multiple states against Black people, even when they were given equal. So it's like, dang, Like, you know, you have the most notable. You have the Tulsa, Oklahomas. You have the Lake Lanier. So I was gonna say all of those things have been bullet pointed out throughout history to say you have to make amends for these atrocities, not just slavery. Every time these people equalized for themselves, you went and messed it up. Every time they created things for their children, you went and stole the bank account. Every time they went, so it's like there's multiple things down a detailed list where it's like nobody of sound mind can say these people should not be compensated because you already set precedent, in my opinion, for people who had far less happen to them, and you gave them reparations.
That's right. That's
Sure.
My parents not even from here. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just simply agreeing to it is whatever the line is, whatever the number is, right? We'll agree to it if you relinquish your citizenship and leave.
Well, it's like he didn't say anything. It's like you didn't hear a word he said.
But
right. Because I'm not contesting the details to it. It doesn't matter.
So,
There's only two conditions. If you're going to get any benefit from it, you have to relinquish your citizenship.
So Josh, guys, let's move the conversation forward, because the reason why I like Josh, I like the fact that Josh is doing this is because you have to anticipate the realistic pushback from, let's say, now I'm not even calling you far right, Josh. The far right is definitely going to have that opinion, though. I'm not calling you far right, but the far right is going to have that opinion. And you know how I'll challenge you with that? You know what I'll challenge you with that? They would not do that. Any reasonable white moderate would not do that, because to give reparations would mean that you lose the opportunity to have that money infused back into the U.S. economy.
Yeah, we don't mind.
You
get back at it.
You would crumble.
Now
we can absolutely
crumble.
I can show you exactly how we'll get it back. If it's the case you're going back to, say, Kenya, Nigeria, or something like that, right? I can show you conversation. I can show you. Yeah, I can show you exactly how we can get that money back out of those countries. We'll go back for all of the financial aid since, let's just say, the 1980s, I guess, is a starting point. We'll go back after all of that financial aid that was provided through it. So when you take the money and you go back, we'll just end up going after the country through civil liability. And if civil liability isn't met, we'll just use force, aka the military.
You know what, man?
So what you'll end up doing is taking the money back to those countries. We'll go after it for like financial aid that was aided to those countries or those specific countries. There's only like a handful of them, to be fair. There's not that many. There's actually only a handful. We'll go back after civil liability to get the money back. So it'll go into your hand. Then when you get there, right, we'll end up re-seizing it against the name of that country.
Got you. So
force is a bitch, ain't it? It's
let me tell you this. So one of the things that the reason I wanted to kind of take that argument is because, you know, BMU had said all the things. So BMU, the bad part, this is one of those inevitable truths, is that everything that you name that we should take with us, we don't. The part where I was like this before I clicked the link is like, we don't own any of that stuff. So it's almost like they basically stole it from us. Everything we invented, it stays here because we don't own the license, we don't own the patent, we don't own the network, so on and so forth. We can't take rap music with us because they own the companies that perpetuate rap music. So it's but I'm sorry, they absolutely would lose the participants. Like, where you gonna get black art and black artistry if black people aren't here? But the one thing I will is, Josh,
I wouldn't be opposed to any rap music.
Hold on, Josh.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be opposed for rap music to even get banned in the United States, just to be fair.
Do you know what I noticed about black people and the way they participate in the economy? And it's not going to be this way forever because of the declining birth rate amongst all groups, but especially white and black people, is that black Americans were the priority minority in the United States. And what I mean by that is, have you ever gone to an airport and been like, why do so many black people work for the TSA? Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, the predominantly most federal branches
exactly.
are actually employed by predominantly black people.
And what I think is that there is an essential part of labor participation, primarily in public administration, that will be absolutely devastating if black people just left. Because what it's actually saying is, even these jobs, most white people are not willing to do. So the way they participate in the labor force and then take those dollars and then spend it. So remember, this is a bad thing, but it's also something that perpetuates the health of the economy, black people don't keep money in their communities very long. So that means there are whole industries, consumer spending industries, that are propped up by black spending. So if you lose that, you basically lose chances for most people to become entrepreneurs, white, black, Hispanic, or whatever, because it's like consumer spending from black is a significant part of the U.S. economy.
We concede that there will be an economical hit. We concede that, and we still agree.
Hold on, Josh. I want to add this too. We're taking your white women with us.
They would.
You'll probably take about 20% of them guaranteed, just because they want it.
Yeah. So
we'll agree to that.
It's actually the number. I'm looking at it right now. The numbers, according to Pew Research Center, since Loving versus Virginia in 1967, the interracial dating for black men marrying and or dating white women have gone up 25-30%.
Yeah. I was guessing about 20%, but
so yeah,
you can take them. We can see.
Yeah, we'll take your women with us. Mm-hmm. And all the white women who are cheating on their white husbands with black men, we're taking them with us as well.
We absolutely agree. You can take them too.
And we'll just leave you with the nursing home white women.
We will take those. We can import more for you.
It's supposed to be just like a good conversation to have.
But yeah, go ahead, Arpane. I'm sorry. I just want
to. I'm just saying. I know we're having fun with the notion that, you know, guys like Josh, who say if you want reparations, you got to give up your citizenship, would be the predominant feeling from white men and white people. I'm not so sure, because it's the first time I heard this premise.
Really?
Yeah, it is. But
really?
it's interesting to
debate. I can give you four links to this debate on.
You gotta let me finish, man. You know,
I'm just telling you, it's not an uncommon.
You gotta let me finish, man. You know, you just gotta let me finish saying what I gotta say, man. I don't overtalk you.
Yeah, come on.
When the 14th Amendment came out, I'm positive it wasn't like we're gonna grant you birthright citizenship. You know what I'm saying? And if you give up reparations, that wasn't part of the premise.
No, absolutely, I agree.
You know, so we got to stop the bullshit. Now we can entertain this as for communication points only. I don't know if we lost Josh and shit, but you know, he likes to talk over people, man. But anyway,
no, he's still here. He can hear you.
All right. So anyhow, listen, I guess it's a good little exercise, but I don't like the premise. And I think we shouldn't, I mean, I shouldn't say we shouldn't entertain it, but let's just make sure that everybody in the audience know that we just kind of bloviate.
Yeah.
Because certainly there's nobody has the right to even think that black folks should give up their citizenship. You know why? Because we're the only motherfuckers here who have receipts on why we should be citizens. Right? Especially when you're giving people just by being born here citizenship. Yeah. We got hundreds of years of blood, sweat, and tears. Why would we give that shit up?
Now I want to say this.
Here's another thing for the people that they call tethers, right? Which is a bad word. If your parents came here in early 2000 and 1900s, they went through the same atrocities as every other fucking black person through Jim Crow and all of that kind of shit. So that's why in California they wanted them to be part of whatever reparation process. Because just by virtue of being black, you came here early enough, you were getting your ass kicked. You know, so I'm just saying, it wasn't just slavery. It goes all the way up to all the atrocities, redlining and all that other kind of shit, lynching and all that kind of stuff. They didn't say, let me hear your accent first.
Listen, guys, come on. We got to do this thing where I think Josh actually, because I don't know if he's right wing or not. I don't know if he's pulling our tail today or what.
He said he's very far right.
Far right. Okay, so that is like a far right parlor trick that he just pulled. Right? The time of Jim Crow is definitely over in terms of what's happening on a day-to-day basis with black people. But getting you to argue about your citizenship when in the worst time in history they couldn't even take it is nonsensical. So now he's getting us to argue about something he can't actually take away. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's
what I'm saying. It's like he can't take it away, so now he has to have us create enough create enough stir about why we deserve to be citizens. He can't take your citizenship away. Like the way I look at citizenship, the reason that they are attacking it in the courts right now is because it's been used against the establishment of America. I'm sorry, it can be taken away, Joe, but you know what I mean. To say that you're probably gonna lead if you try. You already know this, Joe. You smart. If you try to take away citizenship from Black Americans, you have a world criminal court case on your hand now.
America doesn't give a shit about the world.
No, not America. I'm talking about the World Economic Council, war crime type stuff. You know, the people that
you think they would give a shit about? They wouldn't give a shit about what happens to us domestically.
No. So I won't even say that. What I'm saying is that look at how people take opportunities to destabilize America. That is one of the things.
I hear you. I hear that.
It won't be about us. It'll be about poking fun at America for what they do. Putin, on one hand, loves when we do stuff. So when all of the Black Lives Matter stuff was happening, he used that on his state TV. He was basically saying, does America have the right to be telling anybody what to do? Look at their morally deplorable asses, right? So I'm saying they'll do that. If they really want war with that, it's going to mess up all the trade deals. So get this. Something y'all might be privy to. We started the war with Iran, right?
Right.
It made jet fuel prices skyrocket.
Right.
The reason why you don't see most of Europe panicking anymore is because most of them just started buying oil directly from Nigeria for the first time in 30 years, right? So if you're going to do something like that to Black Americans, you are basically going to say you're putting an embargo on all of Africa to trade with you. Now, this is the way you treat people because it's not just Black Americans here, right? It's a bunch of Africans here too. If this is the way you're going to treat people, then you're locking yourself off to any type of trade to the people with the most minerals and resources that you need. They're not going to do that. They're never going to do that.
Now, I want to lighten the mood just a little bit. I know Josh is not on the screen right now, guys, because he said he had to go smoke. Well, Josh, I'm asking that you give your cigarettes here because inventor Henry Sampson, he invented the cigarettes and he's Black. So we want the cigarettes back too. You can't smoke anymore. When we leave, we want to take those cigarettes with us.
Hey, you might not be smoking cigarettes though.
I got another super chat here from Front Row at the Fight 2531 499 super chat. Thank you so much. You built this company for free under the worst working conditions ever. If we give you back pay, you have to resign. That sounds dumb as hell.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Thank you so much, Front Row. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, man. Hey, guys, if you're watching right now, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Become a member if you want to. Give to the channel, just like at Front Row at the Fight just did as well. You see the Cash App scrolling at the bottom of the screen and the super chat at the bottom there. And hit the like button, subscribe button, share with a friend. 2 people you like, 1 person you don't. But Trigger Mike, I mean, overall, Trigger Mike, I just want to get your thought. Overall, we need to leave. If we get reparations, we don't want to see you guys flexing your reparations, so you need to leave. What are your thoughts? We need to leave.
Oh no, I mean, like I said, it's the perfect straw man argument to basically say, I think what he's actually doing. So that's what I meant by when I brought it up. What he's actually doing is telling you he's going to be jealous. That's what he's doing. Yeah. You always got to look at the objective of what somebody's saying. He threw out the y'all need to leave because watching you flex is really going to hurt their feelings. Watching you buy property is really going to hurt your feelings. Because I think the saying goes, tell a poor white man that he's better than someone, you'll have his vote forever or something. Yeah. Right. So if you give them any type of financial, if you give Black Americans any type of financial, here's the crazy part. If you equalize when you are used to privilege of any kind, fairness seems like discrimination.
Yeah.
So he's looking at it like, oh, we're just giving them the money to buy the land that was taken from their ancestors. They're not used to that, so now it's discrimination against them. That's the way they're gonna feel about it.
You know what? You know, it's a good illustration of what we're talking about Blacks getting reparations. The show on HBO called The Watchmen. If you ever saw Watchmen on HBO,
yeah, I have.
Yeah, right. In that world, Blacks were paid reparations. and and the white people hated that shit, man. It was crazy, you know. So, you know, that wasn't the main thing, but it was going on there. How blacks were living with the reparations, living fat off the hog, man. The white people were pissed. They even created a group to kill them all. You know. So anyway,
I think he would be jealous.
Oh yeah, that's a good one though, Trigger Mike. He would be.
Yeah, that's
a lot
good.
of people would
I like
be jealous. But let me ask you, Trigger Mike, when you gonna do a show, man? You got what happened to the Trigger Mike show, man? I've been meaning to ask you. I know, busy. You got promoted. You're the president of the World Council of Hospitals or some shit now. What would you do?
Nah, man. You know, I'm actually busy. I do gotta keep a low profile these days. I'm busy working on a few things, but
okay.
It's not YouTube related. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. You have to go too much deep, man. You still look at it. You still know, right?
Damn.
Yeah, man. Pause. Yeah, goddamn. Yeah, goddamn, man.
He said, "Trigger Mike, you ain't got to go too much deeper."
You know, listen, man. Let's cut that shit out. Pause. That's funny, man. Anyway, man. Other than that, but says Josh, so he smoked whatever he's smoking, man. He might be coming back lit.
But y'all want to know, this is very telling though, because this is something that people need to realize in the entire argument about racism. One of the reasons you won't see a lot of people call something racism is because you got to understand human nature. What we call out as racism a lot of time is not racism. It is based in things that are very human-like. It's just jealousy, right? So I understand that this behavior is going to be perpetuated by anybody. So we don't even need to focus in that. You can engender, like you can bring out envy from just about anyone. All right. If when you get a new car in your driveway, you're getting envy. You did all the work, you saved the money, you got the bonus. You watch them get a new car. You watch them get 3 new cars in 4 years, but you get a new car and they got miles on theirs. Now all of a sudden you're espousing envy out of your neighbors. That's the way humans are. So you have to understand that they are gonna watch black people get. We can even look at it like this. Look at how whites treat each other, because they have some of the most divided class groups. They call each other trash and all that type of stuff. Look at how they treat each other. Don't even make it interracial. Just look at within their own ethnic group and their racial group. They are divided by class. And they will call each other trash and uppity and all this type of stuff because they espouse. One group espouses envy for the other, and which makes this group hate or disdain the other group. So I look at a lot of this as human nature. It is 100% human nature for white people to feel a way towards black people getting reparations, because it will start a conversation about what's deserved and what's not deserved. And I just think the black people that the black Americans that will get it should not give a damn. You literally flex in front of their face, dare them to take your citizenship, and if they do, you'll just buy it back anyway.
Josh, you want to respond to that?
Can I address some of this? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I guess we'll go back to the jealousy concept. One of the agendas that's on the Christian nationalist agenda. Can you pull up that link in the back chat, pretty please?
Let's see.
It's a wiki.
Let's see. Oh, I see it. Hold on, just a second.
The question is whether we can take citizenship from slaves. This would be it. Have you noticed that we're going after illegal citizenship now, currently?
You mean birthright citizenship?
Yes.
No, not just birthright citizenship. Well, yeah, technically birthright citizenship.
Yeah, no, they're all citizenship. You're right.
Yeah. What would be the difference between this being brought back as, like, let's just say somebody, let's say that somebody wants to pull up, well, I'm a descendant from slavery, right? And they were brought in, I guess, after 1808 or 1809. I forget what year this bill was passed. If they were brought in illegally. They were actually slaves that were imported into the United States illegally.
Yeah.
They would just be deported. lots of laws back in the back that really nasty. So the idea that we can't take them back, I don't know about that. We're already doing something to that effect.
So
recently.
You know what, Josh? I think there are a lot of arguments. I'm sorry, in theory, that you're going to win on technical basis. I think a lot of things that can be done technically in the realm of taking citizenship would never be done. This is actually where I get my comfort. Hold on.
I agree.
I get my comfort from. I watch the reason why I sleep well at night, and I know that the KKK is no longer coming to my doorstep, is because I watch white people fight against white people, almost like it's not my problem at all. Right?
Sure.
So I think you're lying if you say that most whites will be on your side if you decide to launch that type of campaign. It will not, because I watched the political polarization of whites at the moment is at its highest in history.
Well, now that depends. That kind of depends.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It's true.
How many of you
watch a white dude?
Hold up. In the last
take out
people
a white conservative. Y'all are not united on anything right now.
Try this. Just this argument alone. Take the people that entered the United States in the last 20 years illegally, right? Given that they were probably brought in some kind of asylum claim, right? And then there was like DACA or something, right? That basically made it legal, and then it got reversed and then made it illegal, right? And just in the last 20 years, these groups of people, how do you feel about them going back? Because that's what the Republican Party is. This is what Trump ran on. This is his campaign that he ran on.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That has nothing to do with us.
No. So
okay. Now reverse it 100 years. Go stop at 20 instead of going back 20 years. Go back the full 100 years or 115 years.
No, you can't. That's what we're saying. So you're going to create chasms where you're going to create situations where you're looking at the last 20 years DACA recipients taking the extended legal immigration status from people. That is more of what they call infiltration of invasion of a country from, what is it? It can fit on 5 fingers where these people come from, right? Mexico, El Salvador, Venezuela. Like it can fit. These are the contiguous people that are infiltrating this country, mostly from Mexico. That is completely different than bringing people over from the transatlantic slave trade. Completely different.
Well, I agree that they were brought in differently, right? One they entered their own free accord illegally, right? Whereas slaves didn't really have much of a choice, right? Like you're in chains, you don't get a choice whether you're property or not.
It makes all the difference in the world.
Well, does it make all the difference in the world?
Yes,
it does.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Hold on.
No.
Let's stop doing that, because what we're doing is hold on, Josh. What you're doing is the only grounds that you have to debate it are the amendment, another amendment to the Constitution, which we already know is the hardest thing to do. So what you're basically talking about is reversing a constitutional amendment. It is there is no constitutional amendment that allows people who like the DACA recipients and the people who came here illegally. That's why a president has to try to safeguard them, but they came in illegally. It's not the same situation. Objectively, it's not.
Oh, we've had amendments reversed.
No, I said you did. I said it's the hardest thing. As I said, it's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
We've made new amendments. We reversed it. Like, look, watching how hard it is for them to reverse the NFA, the National Firearms Act, and all that type of stuff. I know that they're never gonna get to a point where they take away the citizenship of enslaved Africans.
20 years ago, that same claim was made about these immigrants. 20 years ago, you would have gotten the idea that birthright citizenship would have ever been in question. Would have been, somebody would have made that same claim. You'd never get it. Yet here it is in front of the Supreme Court.
What? So we apples and oranges, Josh. Let me tell you why I say that. birthright citizenship at this point should be in question. But I know you don't expect me to say that. That's why I said the citizenship status of the descendants of Black American slaves is not the same as the argument being put out there for birthright citizenship. In fact, hold on. Let me say this part. Every sovereign nation of our size, it is damn near impossible to get citizenship in their country. That's why I say it's a modern. It's a outdated concept. You cannot go.
Why is it impossible?
No.
Why is it impossible?
You cannot become a citizen of the UAE. You can become a legal resident.
Correct.
Right. So Trump saying what he's saying about birthright citizenship, you can ask most Black Americans, they're gonna agree. It was something that was created for the descendants of slaves, not for random people who come in here illegally, because those people have no choice.
Correct. It was intended with that, but now you've got a law here that predates that basically says it was illegal.
What law is that?
Do what?
What law is that? That predates
the one in the back chat.
Yeah, but again, that's not the same. You listen, that law.
What are you talking about? That's quite literally a law.
You gotta let me finish saying what I gotta say, man. God damn, that law says
it's
that
a law that quite literally predates.
Man, you know what? Fuck
Wait,
this shit,
but
man.
Look at the date on that.
You know, listen, man, I gotta be able to say what the fuck I gotta say, man. You know, listen, with that thing he put in the back, right? 1808. But the real point is that when they said slavery, you couldn't import any new slaves, but people were doing that illegally. So those people still were slaves. If they lived long enough, when slavery was abolished, they just went along for the ride. It didn't matter how they got here. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to make that into like those people are a different class than the slaves who came here when slavery was legal, right? That shit in 1865, those distinctions weren't made. If you were slavery when they freed slaves, it didn't matter how you got here. You were free. You know, listen, man, you gotta respect people, Josh, when they talk, man. You know, and you get a chance to say shit.
I don't have to respect because you still haven't addressed it.
I just did. You just wasn't listening.
Oh, okay. So birthright citizenship, if you were a slave prior to, or I'm sorry, after 1808, and you were brought in illegally, you would be deported on the same precedents that exist now that are in the current administration going after people.
No, you wouldn't. If they get rid of
you wouldn't.
If they get rid of birthright,
20 years ago, that same argument was made that it could be done.
Wait a second. If they get rid of birthright citizens, the Supreme Court comes back and abolishes birthright citizens, they're not going to grandfather that. They're going to set out a date and say, if you're born before this particular date, you know, you're still eligible. But after that date, you no longer have eligibility. So they're not going to grandfather that.
How do you make such a claim? How do you make such a claim as it?
Because it doesn't make any sense to do it that other way.
Hold on, Josh, though. But
20 years ago, it was not. It didn't make sense to question the current system that we're going against now. All you have to do is go back 20 years.
We don't know if it wasn't questioned. It's just the president willing to pursue.
Sure.
Yeah. What's the question?
Josh, how do you assume? So the reason why I think they will never pursue something like this, how do you find out? So first off, the people 18, I think Payne had already alluded to this. The people that you could find that were imported between the applicable time, right, that you gave of that prohibition that you gave, they have already passed. Now, how do you go about finding their descendants, and what percentage of the U.S. Black population do you think that represents?
The same way that anybody that's claiming access to reparations would ask for, if we're gonna go for reparations, they're gonna have to prove, you know, that they were like basically slaves or descendants of slaves, and then follow that backwards, right? And if it was found that they came into the United States between, let's just say 1865 and then 1808, anywhere in between that point they were brought in instantly, it wouldn't be about reparations. It would be like, well, you were brought in illegally, you're getting deported.
So I'll say this. One thing I don't like to do, so here's one thing, you know, as a black conservative type man, I like hearing people out, no matter what the hell they're.
Yeah, we just heard about.
Yeah, I no matter what the hell your viewpoint is, I think the debate between people with extreme views is actually democracy, because the debate can happen, right? I think that's actually what democracy looks like. So I'm taking
it's a discussion for sure.
Yeah. So I think I'm taking your credible argument, right? Like, okay, well, he found a precedent. This is something, if we're being honest, this is something that somebody could go to court with one day, right? And then start the debate because it's in law. But I just looked it up, and this is just raw numbers, okay? I put in what percentage of U.S. slaves came after 1808. The Gilder of American history says very few. Less than 5% of enslaved people in the United States arrived after 1808. I highly doubt that anybody is going to start that type of campaign for less than 5% of black people. I highly doubt it. I don't think the juice is worth it.
For the same reason that illegal entries in the last 20 years really takes less numbers than that.
Well, put it this way, Josh. Illegal entries by whom?
Well, see, now that's the question, right? How we've taken out, I guess, like the current system as they're going after like people that they actually went over overstays on visa waivers, right? That was actually the last one that they just hit recently. Before that, they were going after specific programs like DACA, which they didn't take out DACA, right? They only took out specific groups.
You know what, though, Josh, what do you think about this? Because I think what you're doing is you're conflating two immigration arguments. And the only reason I think that it's kind of moot to have the conversation about Africans and African descendants is because Asians, basically every single immigrant that is not of Latino origin, their number of immigration is like less than 10% in this country at any given time. The people who join, like the people who are close to the United States, South America, again, they make up 90-something% of the people that are illegally immigrated over here. And I think if you change the argument, you'll actually start to get agreement from us. Can I tell you what I have noticed?
No.
So
no, there's a favoritism taking place. We typically, currently, based on economical standards, we want the Asians.
No. I said that's not. Nobody's going after them. What I'm saying is that they make up
because we want them.
Every illegal migrant, or that's here or that overstays their visa, all that type of stuff. If they are from Africa, if they are from Asia, if they're from Europe or some sort, they make because of how they got to get here, they're the smallest number of people. So most of the time when people are talking about illegal migrants, they're not talking about them. They're only talking about
Mike, man. That's not.
Listen,
You're talking about.
But that's the point. That's the argument. Your argument is exactly my rebuttal to your argument. That 5% is exactly what we're going after now. That 5%, just not after black people.
But hold on for a second. But Sugar Mike, when you make that assertion, it's smaller because of proximity, but the laws that they're trying to enact is not cherry picked because you're a smaller percent or a larger percent. It just seems like we're going after more of the folks from South America because there are more of them, right? The Haitians, for example, are here because they got temporary protective status, right? That's another one of those issues. They tried to get rid of that, and the courts will stop them. But you know what? The courts are right. You can't send the Haitians back to that fucking hellhole because it's still bad, right? You can't send them into the arms of barbecue, right? So the fact is, I'm saying that our immigration policy is all over the place. But this notion that we could make an equivalency of whatever our policy is now to Africans coming over here between 1808 and 1865 is absolutely ludicrous. There's no argument there. You know what I'm saying?
It's ludicrous.
It's not even near the same thing. It's like it's a conflation of issues to make to make nonsense, right? Because listen, Josh, if I was a slave that came in 1809, and I stayed a slave, my family stayed in slavery until it was free. Nobody's making a distinction between me and the other slaves. I'm just another free nigga.
Nobody was making.
Nobody's gonna look at your goddamn record and say you came here once they stopped slave trade, so now you're in a different class than other slaves. It's ridiculous.
Except for we're doing that same exact thing. Except for we're doing that same exact thing with a different set of a different group of people of a different color currently.
No,
all of the things that you say are ludicrous. All of the things that you claim are ludicrous, we're doing and enacting now.
No, we're not. That's not what's going on
via
now.
executive order.
It's not the equivalency of what you're trying to make. It's not. We can argue it back.
Why is it not?
But it's not. I just told you why it's not. The reason why.
No, you're just calling it ludicrous.
But I told you why it was ludicrous.
Say it one more time. Why is it ludicrous?
Listen, because nobody's making it. If you came in as a slave in 1809, when it was illegal to import slaves, and your family played on whatever plantation you want to pick, wherever you want to go, by the time they free slave, your second and third generation, there was nobody making a distinction as to whether you were a legal slave or an illegal slave. You got
there
freed.
Was nobody making.
Wait a minute. You asked. You got freed in 1865, just like all the rest of the slaves. Nobody's going to make a distinction about your records. So when the 13th and 14th Amendment was passed, that shit applied to you. And so you had birthright citizenship by virtue of being a slave, whether you were legal or not.
Okay. Here's my rebuttal. Nobody in the last 2 years has been making a differential between the you could say the same argument as nobody's making a differential between the illegal Chinese immigrant and the illegal Central American immigrant. Illegal immigrant. I'm saying illegal, right? Except for that's exactly what they're doing. They're hyper focused on one specific group.
You're wrong.
Yes, they are. Okay. How many? According to State Department, how many illegal Chinese? Just Chinese. We're not taking the Southeast Asian. Just how many illegal Chinese immigrants are there on overstay visas within the United States?
I don't know. I don't know.
Twice the number as in, like, say the what was the last group that they went after? The Somalis.
Well, they didn't go after Somalis. Put the spotlight on themselves.
They went correct. They hyper focused on.
Wait a minute, Josh.
Specific small group.
Mostly American citizens now. There's very few. The Somali population. Let's just take Minnesota for example. 85 to 90% of them are American citizens.
Correct.
All right, so they're not. So they're being focused on because they're.
What brought up?
So the
right. What brought up birthright citizenship?
Well, you ask questions, but you don't want nobody.
No, what brought up birthright citizenship? What group brought that about?
Because birthright citizenship was brought up during their campaign.
What group?
Hey, Josh, you gotta let me fucking answer.
What group?
No. They didn't put a group on it. Birthright. When Trump put on as a plank birthright citizenship, he used
what group triggered the birthright citizenship argument?
Listen, you can't tell me how to fucking answer a question.
It's a simple.
Listen, there you go, man. Fuck this shit, man. If he ain't gonna let me answer, I'm gonna just bring him down. Listen, Trump, when he talked about birthright citizenship, he didn't say group. He wants to get rid of it so people can't use America as a staging ground. It don't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter whether you're Chinese, Spanish, European. He doesn't want you to get that Benny because that lessens the drive to come here to take advantage of the country. And the most people affected are going to be South Americans because they're the most proximity. So I mean, it's just sensical. I mean, you guys tell me whether that's not true. He didn't put an ethnic group on birthright citizenship.
No,
What's in the Supreme Court? It's not cherry picking which group he's talking about.
No, and I think, Josh, you might be conflating some of your own personal views and opinions with what the government at large is.
Nope. It's a real simple question. The birthright citizenship came about specifically because of one group. What group was that?
The descendants of enslaved Africans.
No.
Okay, who was it?
Somalis. They went after a small number of group just to bring into a question. They just needed one case.
Wait, are you talking about the inception of birthright citizenship or the
what brought the case up to what
oh
brought
you mean
the case
the
up
recent one? The recent one?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wait, the recent one, the one in front of the Supreme Court? It's not in front of the Supreme Court
Yes.
because of the
The
Somalis.
idea
It's
that
not
you
in
bring
front
up
of
to
the Supreme
something.
Court because of Somalis. That's bullshit.
You're saying your entire argument is why we wouldn't pick on one specific small set of a subgroup. You always pick on one small set of a subgroup of people first. Always do it.
Citizenship is being challenged because there was a case in 1898 where the Chinese got birthright citizenship, and they want to overturn that.
No,
that's not the
case. That is not the case being argued.
You don't know what you're talking about, brother. You don't.
No, sir, you don't know what you're talking about. The case is public record.
The case is in front of the Supreme Court. You
gotta let me know where you're getting. You gotta let us know where you're getting it, because this even says the ACLU of New Hampshire says it is targeting the U.S.-born children of undocumented immigrants and individuals with temporary legal status. We know that, but it says primarily Latino and Asian.
What case was brought up from the Supreme Court? You can just read the transcripts; they're open.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it because challenging.
Anyways, your argument is that the United States would never go after a small subgroup, right? Like Trigger Mike said that they would never go after the 5%, right, of a specific one. That's incorrect. That's exactly what you would do. Is you would go after small groups in increments. Okay. So you go after this small group, you go after that small group, you go after that small group. Over a 50-year span, you basically kind of worked out the whole immigration problem, or what they claim is an immigration problem. I don't even know what
you're missing what I said. What I said was they will not go after the 5% that represents.
No, that's not true at all. If they catch you,
they would exactly go after the 5%. The same reason they went after the Somalis and not the Chinese.
No matter what ethnic group you're in, if you get caught out of compliance, they're gonna fucking serve you. Listen, the birthright citizenship was 19.
Eventually goes in that direction. Yes.
Case that's in front of the Supreme Court right now.
Oh, okay.
The birthright citizenship case that's in front of the Supreme Court. Hey, Josh, let me finish saying what I gotta say.
No, because you're misrepresenting.
The birthright citizenship case in front of the Supreme Court now is United States versus Wong Kim Ark, where he got citizenship by virtue of challenging the 14th Amendment, saying that birthrights for everybody, not just the descendant of slaves. That's what that says. And that's the court, that's the case in front of the court. They want to overturn that ruling, right? It's not, they didn't pick out somebody because a Somali and all that bullshit. They're directing this case to a specific court case. I'm looking right at it. And I've studied that shit. This whole bullshit that, President Trump during the campaign said he hates Somalis, so we're going to get rid of birthright citizenship because of Somalis. It's just fucking bullshit. It is. And we can't let bullshit just reign, man. I mean, we shouldn't be arguing over this. It's a real court case that's going on.
All right. Well, we'll end it there.
I gotta go, man. Anyway, man.
Yeah.
Man, Josh, man. Listen, as men, we're supposed to be able.
What's the family name? What's the family name? What's the family name, Payne?
On what? On the case? Yeah, the case is Wong Kim Ark. 1898 birthright citizen case.
No.
Yes.
No, that's not it.
No,
that's not it.
So we'll end it there, and we'll come back. We'll be back here Tuesday. Monday for our Pain Show on this network. He'll be here 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Then on Tuesday, we'll be back with the show again for you guys to come up.
What we talking about again? It's safe to say.
I'm going to change it now because I got to change it now. But Tuesday,
we're talking about how MLK was a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't necessarily espouse to that, but he had his flaws, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. So we'll talk about. We'll have another talk on Tuesday. But I appreciate you guys stopping by today. We got 93 people watching right now. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button right now. So we can get this video out, get this content out. If you want to donate to the channel, definitely do that by hitting the like button, subscribe button, share it with 2 people you like, 1 person you don't. If you want to give to the channel, the Cash App is scrolling to the bottom of the screen. If you want to give something else, you can. Now, I do have some more super chats here that I want to read. Front row at the fight 2531 199 super chat. He said legal immigration is not illegal importation. We got my boy Curtis Moore 1991 in the building with the 999 super chat. He said happy Sunday BMU. Didn't expect a Sunday morning show. I am here for it. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate everybody that gave to the channel today, and we'll be back on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday again. So guys, make sure you tune in, hit the subscribe button, also hit the notification button so you know when we go live, and you won't miss out on any of this great content, man. Right, man. Until next time.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see y'all on Tuesday. Peace.
Yeah. Black Man Unfiltered Network. We ain't here to play nice. We here to flip everything they told you was normal.